looks like it's live. Okie dokie, let's go. Mamma mia. Other Mario words. Oh yeah, I still have a Pokemon slot open. But I have no idea what I want to fill with. That's a problem for future tech. I'll show you how strategy can beat brute strength. Yes, you say that strategy can beat brute strength, yet my ground type can trounce your... Oh wait, no, Hypno? What kind of poison type gym is this? This is cheating. I want my money back. Also, time to crack this cold one with the boys. Poo gas, no! Poison gas has to be one of the worst. Ellie, hi, thanks for stopping by. Poison gas has to be one of the worst moves in Pokemon, right? It's something like, I think, a 55% chance to hit, and it just does normal poison. Versus, like, obviously, like, Toxic is just better, because it's a 100% chance for badly poison. It's also weird to me that there's two different forms of poison. I never really got that, but on top of normal poison just not being worth a move slot on its own, it's like, why does this fairly weak status effect have a slightly accurate move for it? Like, only slightly I don't get it, with no damage. Yes, poison and super poison. Like, badly poison is... This is supposed to be a... What is with these drowsies? This is supposed to be a poison gym. Oh man, I forgot about this. Badly, the toxic poison is very good. Because it doubles the chip damage every turn. So instead of killing in something like 10 turns, it kills in like 4 or 5. Which is very, very good. And again, having a way to like eat through Pokemon who can heal or who have really high defense or whatnot is very strong. I'm just more wondering, like, why is there two different kinds of poison? That's a weird way to spell psychic. Marvel Rivals with the boys, nice. Hope everybody's been having a good time. I meant to start earlier, but then I fell asleep on the couch. So, yeah. I want to get through Saffron City today. So that means, like, I want to beat Kadabra. Turns out my team's pretty damn bad against psychic types. So I wanna beat Sabrina and do Silph Co. Is my goal. And then once we get Surf, I'm gonna go and get that Aerodactyl from Cinnabar Island. Couch sleep is the best sleep. Is it though? Like, every time I fall asleep on the couch, like, I wake up feeling at least slightly groggy, you know? Until you wake up and are incredibly groggy. Exactly, yeah. Oh, I think Six Tails is like mega dead. Oh, never mind. I forgot that Future Sight sucks and is awful. So I used to feel worse after taking a nap pretty much every time. But having, you know, adjusting to a, you know, a normal 9-ish to 5-ish work schedule, I've gotten a lot more out of it. So, it's like, I'm just more tired every day, so I'm getting more out of it. I still have a hard time believing that they kept the whip in this version of the game. You know, because typically they get rid of the whip in this sort of stuff. I'm pretty sure the versions in every other game got rid of it too. It took me years to realize that Arbok's, like, thing under its face was supposed to be the kind of thing you often see on real-life snakes. Where it's supposed to look like a face. Like, I just kind of didn't catch that detail. Because that's a thing you'll see in plenty of, like, snakes and bugs or whatnot, where their skin coloring is, looks like a scary face to ward away predators, and I just like didn't get that was the thing going on with their face here, because I'm not very smart. A false face, yeah, exactly. God, Intimidate's so annoying. It's so annoying because, like, I don't think that would have been a one-shot if he didn't have Intimidate, but it feels like it, you know? Alright, there we go. I think we're gonna be, riding the Stooges for a lot of this gym. Especially considering that, I think Ding Dong's also going to spend a lot of this gym on the sidelines. Not that that's too bad, because there's going to be a lot of water type. In this version of the game, you can't really see, like, you're normally sort of able to see, like, like, if you have the, brightness up on your screen enough, you can normally sort of see where the walls are supposed to be. But with my TV, I can't really see them at the moment. What? This is... Excuse me. What about poison type gym did these people not get? That's a ground type, good sir. When are we getting the Marx Bros Pokemon added to the team? Which Pokemon are the Marx Bro Pokemon? I'm afraid I don't get the reference. I'm a moron. No, because that has Intimidate. It's Scaly. Oh no, I'm so scared, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna pee and poop my pants, I'm so scared. Now there's pee and poop everywhere. Oh, because I have a Stooge. Oh, because of Stooges. Okay. I get it now. Yeah, sorry, I'm not cultured. I don't really know much about the Marx Brothers. Or Charlie Chaplin. Captain Charlie. Well, if there's not going to be any poison types on this poison type team, then I might as well use a grass type, right? I have stock options in Silph Co. That's what you get for buying meme stock, bucko. Listen, I'm not saying that I support a terrorist organization overtaking a massively profitable corporation, but... Cat Fox, hello! Hope you're having a good evening. Oh no! Buddy, you do know you have super effective moves against me, right? I completely forgot that Hypno can't be put to sleep. So Falcon, this is something that always has confused me, because Silph Co makes Pokeballs, but then they also have Ghostbusters equipment that they're also selling, which I don't get. So yeah, I don't know. Listen, I'm just saying it's awfully, convenient that the Team Rocket was able to infiltrate their organization so easily, And it seems a little bit suspicious to me that Giovanni was so easily able to make his way into the CEO's office, Like, did you see how hard, do you know how hard it is to get into that place? You have to go through a whole teleport maze in order to get there. But Giovanni just gets to walk right in willy-nilly. I just think that there's some suspicious stuff going on, We're looking at least some insider training. At the very least. Are they meddling in forces they don't understand? Trying to harness the souls of dead Pokemon? I don't trust any corporation like that. And I don't think you should either. Don't be a sheep. Okay, so there's Koga, who I don't actually want to fight right now. Because I want to go and get... Because this is something... Because you can't get the experience points from the trainers if you beat Koga first. Wait, does Koga actually have demon horns? That's not something I ever noticed before. I'll have to look at that when we actually get to his fight. On his sprite? Okay, I'll have to take a look at it again. Oh man, stupid me for, assuming that, that this poison type gym would use poison types. Doesn't Sabrina's gym also have like people who use random bug type Pokemon as well? It's in his overworld sprite. Just one more thing. Okay, Leftovers is a really good item, but damn, the animation takes forever. Yeah, I said I wanted to try to keep to a schedule, and I'm gonna at least attempt to do that. So I said Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, around 7:30-ish, 7-ish, 8-ish. Not a strict schedule, mind you. If I have something going on. Oh, you piece of garbage! I recover so quick. It's not a strict schedule, mind you. Like what I said, like the start time's gonna vary a little bit depending on what I've got going on. And I'll be honest, if there are days I don't feel like streaming, I'm just not going to do it. With that said, I do want to try to keep to the schedule at the very least. Obsceno, there were a lot. So, there's like the two pure poison type families. There's the Gengar line, Bulbasaur line. Oddish and Bellsprout line. So that's 6 the Nidorino lines. Poison is one of the more populous types in Gen 1. Zubat, the Zubat line. I'm just kind of counting on my fingers at the moment. I'm sure I'm missing a few. Arbok. There's at least 20, from what I can remember. Yeah, there was only one. And again, that does make a certain amount of sense when you try to remember that Pokemon Gen 1 was not made to be a competitive game. It was not intended to be competitively balanced. So it makes some amount of sense that there would be a relatively weak type in Poison. That they would purposefully put a handful of weak Pokemon into. So that you could, so that bad guy trainers like Team Rocket could have weak Pokemon for you to fight, and that if you did catch, a psychic type or a ground type, you would have an advantage against a lot of Pokemon, The problem is just that, this is not just it did not end up being just like a casual single player game. It is now a multiplayer game too. I think I can kind of see the demon horns in his hair. Gen 1 did have link cable, but, oh, right, stupid coughing. Gen 1 did have link cable, but the mindset was probably really different back in the day. The mindset, I'm sure, was very different at the time where, playing Pokemon with over link cable was meant to be like, just a casual competition between grade schoolers and not like the huge thing it ended up being. To use muck, yes. Okay. Falcon, it certainly would be interesting. It would make balancing the game a lot harder, for sure. I'm not sure how well it would end up working out in practice, but I think it's, definitely something that would be worth, exploring. I wonder if a Pokemon like RomHack has ever done something like that before. Oh no, don't you dare. Rico, hello! Okay, thank God. We're at... No! No! I'm so mad. Because this is the point in the game where they start using healing potions. I hate it here so much. And the problem too is that because Dig is a 2-turn move, he's got more turns to use Minimize. Okay, we got lucky. No, what? Excuse me? You piece of garbage! I hate you so much! No, Rock Slide is, Rock Slide's too inaccurate. I don't want to use that against him. Yep, it sure is Koga's gym. Oh, God. Shit. Muck sucks. You know what? I didn't even know he knew acid armor. Well, good thing for us. 2 can play at this game, bitch. All right, chat, buckle in. This is gonna be one of those. This is gonna be one of those matches. Listen, Falcon, I agree that fire should be super effective to poison, but poison doesn't need. It doesn't need that. Listen, you've heard of Metapod on Metapod hardened battles, but the Raichu on Muck double team and minimize battle, I think, is a new one for everybody here. Heard of being a stick in the mud, but this is ridiculous. Thankfully, acid armor is only physical defense, so... Okay, I think that's enough. We can still do full damage here. Yo, we won the die roll. Nice. Fully, hello! Na. Excuse? As I understood it, using evasion made you invincible. Twice in a row? Excuse me? I want my money back. This place sucks. Psychic sure is strong against poison, but guess who doesn't have any psychic types? This guy. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna do one of these. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Falcon. I appreciate that. Okay, who do we have up first? Because it's coughing up first, right? Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah, it's Cobra. Oh, actually, hold on. I have an idea, chat. Here we go. Now it's guaranteed to die eventually. Yeah, no, I really hope that they bring this game to the NSO at some point. I love Fire Red and Leaf Green so much. They're among the best games in the franchise. Really, bro? Okay. Until Coco pulls out his burn heal, you son of... Don't you put that on me. Don't you wish that evil upon this world. Koga 2 can play at this game. I think this should kill it. Thank God. Okay. So he should use a full restore instead. Okay, I think we could probably get away with just Thunderbolting from now. We did, what, 3 double teams? That's a fair amount. Especially since Sellout is still definitely the strongest party member we have by a fairly wide margin. Like, actually, hold on. Let's take a look at this for a second. Because everybody's roughly the same level at the moment. 77 special attack. Actually, holy crap. Guys, Ding Dong's jacked. Look at that attack stat, and its special attack isn't even that good, and it's still a fair bit better than... Wow, okay. Hold on. You know what? Polylust is also caught up a good bit, too. Wow, okay. Short episode of Pokemon up to Gen... Oh! I'm not surprised that somebody has decided to do that, but it makes a good amount of sense. It's just supposed to be some sort of, like, manifestation of toxic gas. I don't think it's supposed to reference any, like, specific animal, you know? Like, it's just supposed to be pollution. Like, this is toxic air, and muck is, like, sludge and grime. Man, easy. Who would ever have trouble with Koga? Right? Wow, only a dork would have trouble with Koga. Am I right? Chat? Man. Easiest boss of my whole life. Oh man, Ash getting a Houndour would be really, really cool. Houndour is a Pokemon that I'd love to try, because Dark Fire is like a really cool type combination. Dark Fire is a really cool type combination. The problem is just that I can't think of a game where you can get it at a reasonable time. Because in Gen 2, you can only get it after you get to Kanto. And, you know, that late in the game, it's kind of hard to switch Pokemon. You know, like, you probably have your team already set by that point. Platinum? Okay, got one in Coliseum, okay. Hold on, did they, because Gen 4 has no fire types. Is that one of the ones they added for Platinum? Because if I remember correctly, if you don't choose Chimchar, there's only like one other fire type to choose in the whole game. Sometimes you'll just trade stuff over to make it more unique. That's very fair. That's something I should maybe think about doing more often. It just always seems like a pain, which is why I've never actually done it myself. Like, especially if I'm playing one of the older games like this, it's like, geez, that will take forever. Versus, if you're playing one of the newer games, it certainly seems very reasonable to just, you know, like, get an egg for something you want and then bring it over at that point. Still haven't played. I would highly recommend it. It's obvious. The problem is just that it's really hard to... Oh, hey. I forgot that it's like really... I think it's like one of the only Pokemon available here. It's just hard to get your hands on a copy, unfortunately. But if you can find it, I would really recommend playing it. It's a lot of fun. Another Pokemon you swear is a Digimon. Tangle has always had a really weird design. It does kind of look like moldy spaghetti with eyes. Alright, hold on. I don't know if Tangela can actually hurt us at the moment. Because I think it knows the three powder moves and then growth. So like I don't... Oh no, it knows absorb. Okay, never mind. Buddy, you've been asleep for like 6 turns. Do you mind not? There we go, finally. I like their little... Aren't we glad Gen 5 nerfs sleeped up to 3 turns maximum? Yeah. Yeah. I am. Alright, there we go. That was annoying. They banned sleep? I don't know how I feel about banning anything. Like, I don't follow the competitive meta. So, you know. I guess I don't really have any say. But, I don't know. I feel like in a game as busted as Pokemon, there's always going to be something too good. How strong are the trainers around here? Oh, wait. Oh, no. Is this the guy? Is this John Magikarp himself? Smogon, Dewey, Smogon. I'm glad that damn near 20 years later. Oh, guys, I think this is John Magikarp. I'm glad that 20 years later, Smogon is still, like, known, like, still has this, like, point and laugh reputation. Because people have always, like, even when I was, like, my brief foray into competitive Pokemon back in Gen 3, people always used to laugh and say that Smogon was ridiculous. So, I'm glad that some things never change. Even losing 1 or 2 turns can be a death sentence. That is fair, yes. I mean, in any franchise that goes on for long enough, it's hard to avoid power creep. You know, if you're adding in new content, you know, every game, and old stuff is still available, like, not everything can be viable, unfortunately. Does he have a Gyarados at the end? I always thought that it would be funny if like, what if Magikarp guy just got fucking pissed and then had a team of 6 Gyarados instead. Fire types aren't all that great in the metal. That makes sense to me, actually. Wow, the Pokemon on this route suck. That makes a lot of sense to me, considering that fire is good against what? Grass types, steel types. What else is grass good against? And it's fire types, steel types. I think that's it. Bug. Oh, bug. Yeah. So like being good against steel is very important. Like it's one of the only things that are good against steel types, and especially considering that most steel type Pokemon are much more physically statted. You know, being a mostly special weakness to steel is also important. Oh, and ice, but ice is weak to everything, so I guess it doesn't matter. So yeah, so fire type moves are good against a pretty narrow range of Pokemon. Like most bug type Pokemon are pretty weak. Again, grass is not the best type out there either. Resisting fairy, you see, it's really weird to me to think about fire type resisting stuff, because as mostly an old, like a boomer Pokemon player, like I'm used to fire type being not a good defensive type at all. But resisting fairy does, although this is one of the things, you know, 10 years later, more than 10 years later, we're getting close to like 15 years later at this point. I still don't really get the fairy weaknesses, like how fairy type fits onto the whole, like, system that they've got going on. Like, one of the things about the Pokemon type chart that I really like is that for the most part, all of the weaknesses are really, really, you know, really, really natural and are intuitive, I guess is the best way to put it. They're all very intuitive. Oh, damn. You know, like rock being good against fire makes sense. Fire being good against grass makes sense. It's mostly a very intuitive set of stuff. Now, granted, yes, some of it is a little bit weird. You know, the have you ever tried to punch a bird meme? You know, when you think about it that way. But for the most part, I feel like the Pokemon type chart does a very good job at being very intuitive. I never thought that fairy types kind of fell into that the same way. I've always thought that fairy types, like, I don't really get why fairies are strong against dragons. I don't really get why, you know, steel is good against fairies. You know, it doesn't make all that much sense to me. Oh, that's a joke that we absolutely stole from, we stole that joke from Awkward Zombie. I'm sure some kid did try to punch a bird. Yeah, Ash tried to punch a bird. Did you see how well that worked out for him? Alright. The sea cleanses my body and soul. No, it doesn't. Have you ever got, like, you're covered in salt after you go swimming? Moron. Ash tried to punch a genetic abomination. Yeah, but no, I'm talking about like the very first episode of the anime, where he tries to throw hands with a Spearow and gets his ass whooped. They have 4 times resistant bug. Yeah, not being able to punch a bug, I think. Ah! Hello? Hold on, Stefan. You're still invisible to chat, or I guess non-hearable to chat, so nobody knows what you're saying. Hold on. Yeah, because... yeah, no, they can't hear you. Hold on. Why did I send out a fire type against a water type? Damn. You're distracting me, bro.
It has an electric move.
It has... no, it does not. Hold on. Fuck. How do you... advanced audio properties. Because I remember I set this up so that, like, you should be able to hear you guys, but I don't remember how the fuck to do that. Hold on. Okay, no, it's because it's not set up to my headphones. Okay, hold on. Wait, you did? Stefan, do you say a secret code word? That is not a code word.
You hear that?
No,
that was a secret code. Hold on.
No, they definitely don't hear it because I can see. Okay, now say things. Okay.
They heard that. Hand boning.
There we go. Now he's audible. All right. Now, hold on a moment. Now I need... because now the game audio is coming in twice. So now I need to figure out a way to not have it come in twice. Oh, no. What did I do? Okay. Audio...
They said it's not coming in twice for them.
Okay, well, if it's not coming in twice, because, like, I see it on my desktop audio coming in twice. So, if it's not coming in twice, then that's fine. Is it, like, louder than normal? Wow, I can't believe you would do that to me on purpose. Okay, well, I guess I'm being stubborn and fighting this tentacruel with a fire type. Okay, sounds about the same. All right. Okay, if you say so, chat. How are you today, Mr. Stefan? Mr. Stefan? Did you disappear? Did I mess through all of my stream settings for nothing? Am I gonna die alone and unloved?
Can you hear me now?
Now I can hear you, yes.
Yeah, no, I was checking the audio, make sure. Yeah, it sounds perfectly fine.
Okay. Okay, well,
yeah. Okay. I was doing that whole, don't have the double thing go play on the stream while you're in a call.
Oh, right. Yeah, the stream feedback. No, thank you.
I was jungle beating.
You were jungle... Stefan. Don't mention that in front of the children. This is a family stream. It absolutely is not a family stream.
Okay, I was Donkey and Conga-ing.
Donkey and Conga King. Okay. All right. That's much better.
It really does give you a workout. I was playing the level where it's just like it's nothing but claps, like you got a rhythmic clap.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I love Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. Donkey Kong Jungle Beat is, I think, like, among the most underrated games Nintendo's ever done. Oh, wow, Shelter sucks.
I just feel like every Donkey Kong 2D platformer is considered like one of the best 2D platformers ever, because you have the country games, you have Jungle Beat, and then you have Returns and Tropical Freeze.
You see, this is kind of just a me thing. I never really got any of the country games. Like, they're not that they're bad. They're certainly well-made games. But I've never, like, gotten what made any of them, like, special. You know? Like, they're all just kind of pretty standard, you know, like, in some ways even more, like, even simpler than Mario in many ways, like, less complex in terms of like mechanics and gimmicks and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things I've never got. Like, they're pretty, they're all very pretty games. Like, I get the graphics and whatnot, but like in terms of the gameplay, I just never got it.
It's really difficult, but I've always liked what one and two specifically. I've always really liked. Three I've never cared for as much. But I really like 1 and 2. Returns is again was weird. Was Returns, like, I liked, like, it's like I'd play for like the beginning, like I really like the beginning of it, but then it like gets to a point where I'm like, I never really feel inclined to go further in Returns. But like of a play, and then what I played at Tropical Freeze, I think it is really great.
So I found that in Donkey Kong Country Returns' case, a lot of it is the stupid, like,
motion controls?
No, I mean, the motion controls are annoying, because the motion controls inherently have an amount of impreciseness to them, and the game requires precise control, so it's like, it's not a good fit. It's the blowing, like having to blow on all the different stuff you're trying to explore. It shuts the pace down like nothing else. Because the one thing about the Donkey Kong games that I think they do very well is that if you're just running through them, they do have like a very like snappy pacing to them. Like if you're just running through. I think that like the explorative elements of Donkey Kong are far worse than any of the like kind of hoppy boppy kind of stuff. But in Returns, the game wants you to stop what you're doing every 10 seconds and blow on a dandelion to get like a bunch of bananas, and it's like not worth it. It's just, it takes forever.
Returns is very much trying to do a new Super Mario Brothers style while kind of doing something different. But, like, it's still trying to echo that new Mario. Like, I think it's because it was, new Mario Wii made so much that's like, we'll do it for Donkey Kong to try to get people, a lot of people I know that really liked new Super Mario Brothers Wii that were just very casual, like, the casual gamers that, like, got a Wii, they picked up Donkey Kong Country Returns. It's like, I know Donkey Kong, and it's like that game. So they go for it. It's a lot more difficult, a lot harder to control. And then Tropical Freeze is just, let's just do our own thing from that base.
No, there was definitely a lot of the stuff on the later Wii end was hugely influenced by Mario Wii doing well. Like that's part of, honestly, you can kind of like trace Nintendo's trajectory through the Wii U era and like many of the issues people have with those games back to new Mario Wii doing so well. Cause like you can trace, that's why we got Kirby's Return to Dreamland. That's why we got Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. I love Poliwhirl Sprite so much. It's so stupid.
Hey guys. Hey guys, what's up?
Oh man. But yeah, no, you can trace a lot of the revival of 2D platforming in general goes back to new Mario Wii and how insanely well that game did.
It's that, and also just 2D games were simpler to develop, so
yeah,
that's why they were just during the Wii U era. They're like, let's just focus on like the 2D games or 2D like 2D like adjacent games.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what 3D World is.
It's just a shame because that's basically what led to Mario feeling so sterile for a number of years, you know? Like Mario especially.
Odyssey.
Yeah, pretty much.
the more I think about, I don't think it's beaten Galaxy, but like the more I think about Odyssey and the more I play it, I'm like, man, there's some things this game does that is better than Odyssey. It's like somehow.
Odyssey's really good. It's just hard to compare to Galaxy because they're two very different games. You know, like...
Yeah.
It's interesting in that Galaxy has the feel of the explorative 3D Marios, despite having the level structure of the more linear 2D Marios in 3D World. You know, it's like, it's so strange how it's like the best of both worlds in that case. I do need to replay Mario Odyssey though, because I think that Mario Odyssey is just a phenomenal game.
Yeah, because it probably has, like, I think it has the best controlling Mario. The Bowser's Fury is like neck and neck in terms of, but I think like Odyssey and Bowser's Fury are both, I think, the best controlling Mario.
Oh yeah,
like,
no, I think the game controls really well. Like, Galaxy to me is more about the overall experience, you know? Like, if you really want to go, if you're like really into like the like crunchy, like chaining moves together aspect of platformers, like the super mechanics based element of it, then I definitely get liking Odyssey more than Galaxy, because Galaxy's controls are very simple in comparison. Like, you mostly can get through that game with just jumps and spins. Like, you don't really need to at any point do any like long jumps or anything like that. And like your options for weird movement tech is definitely more limited in Galaxy. Versus in Odyssey, you're doing like, back, like roll, jump into cap, dive, backflip.
Yeah,
Nonsense.
I watch a lot of Odyssey speedruns, and that's honestly, I think, my favorite game to watch speedruns of, because it's just so cool seeing how much tech there is that you can do to just optimize, like, oh yeah, these absolute like wicked like slick moves and just blast through the game. And it's like simultaneously linear and not linear at the same time. It's like they figured out kind of like the perfect like mesh.
Yeah, it's like 10 or so like really, really well made sandboxes.
Yeah, like the only problem is that there's a bit too many moons in the game. Like, it's like,
yeah, if you're going for 100%, it does get a little bit.
Then it's a problem. Yeah, but like playing it through normally and like collecting like casually a decent amount of stuff, it's like, yeah, it's kind of like a better version. Odyssey is basically the Sunshine structure but done better, effectively.
Yeah.
Since
Sunshine has. Dude, we were doing Sunshine for BSC, and watching that game again, I forgot how painful it was in certain elements. Like the Sunshine, I think, like, I don't want to play that game ever again.
Which is a shame, because I feel like playing Sunshine just standard, just like playing Sunshine linearly, I think is fine, because I think Mario's fun to control. I think for the most part the main missions that you have to do are like good enough that I'm like I'm enjoying with. It's just, yeah, the general 100% collecting, all of those extra missions are all mostly just not fun.
So here's the thing, and this was something I realized playing the game, watching the game again, is that I don't think that playing the game casually, like just linear, like just doing all the levels, one of the issues I have with that is that if you do it like that, it is optimal to ignore so much of the game that, like, you lose a lot of the joy of playing a game like that normally. Like, you never should go off the beaten path and explore anything, because you're going to find a blue coin that does nothing for you. You know, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that is a very different. I mean, like when I was a kid, when I played Sunshine, I just went and explored like all of I was focused on the mission, but I also took my time to. I'm just gonna go and explore the world, see what else is like there, and just do it. When it's like, yeah, it's like you shouldn't do again. It's not perfect, but it's like it's not like I don't enjoy playing Sunshine. When I do play, like yeah, control wise, I think it's like if people have yet mentioned Mario Sunshine Eclipse, that fixes a lot of the mod that fixes a lot of that stuff. Like stuff like that. It's kind of like the Donkey Kong 64 mods, where it's like they fix a lot of like those structural problems, and it makes the game makes the game flow a lot better. Because like the base of that has a decent base. It's just a lot of the designs around it is like, no, these were bad ideas.
I'm trying to think of a name for it. Man, this is why Pokemon sometimes is stressful. Because you spend like a half an hour staring at the nickname screen, wondering what you should nickname your Pokemon.
Petrie.
Petrie, like, because he came out of a Petri dish?
No, because like Land Before Time.
Oh, no, but we're calling him Petrie because he came out of a Petri dish.
Hey. Oh, that's right. That's good. Also,
I don't know how to spell Petrie. Hold on a moment.
Petri.
Petri. Okay, there we go.
Oh, and when 10 Elements said they love Odyssey because it's just a Spyro game. It's like, yeah, it really is.
Holy shit, you're right. It is a Spyro game.
Like those like open, like they're basically bigger Spyro. Like those, like the map.
It starts at level 5. Oh no!
Oops.
Oh no! Oh, isn't Modest the worst nature?
What does Modest do again?
I think that's up special attack, down physical attack.
That's an Aerodactyl. Is Aerodactyl more physical, I believe?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Dull.
The problem is I don't remember when I last saved. Yep.
That's another. That's another thing. That's another thing where, as a kid, you see the nature and you have no idea what any of those mean, so you don't care about it. And then once you do know how the mechanics work, then you're like, "Dang it!"
I hope I saved after beating Koga. I sure didn't. Well then,
I'm to redo an hour.
It's okay though, because we want to do that because those trainers on the route up are really weak, which is good for grinding experience for this. Whoopsie.
Oh, you have to even battle Koga too. I thought it was after you were done Koga.
Yeah, it was literally an hour of gameplay. I don't give a fuck.
Literally since the start of the stream.
Lois, this is just like that time I fought Gym Leader Koga. It's okay.
Go, Raichu!
It's okay. We know the strat now.
Why aren't you Alolan? Me pokes that stick. Come on, be Alolan.
Oh no! Don't you? Oh god. Okay, fine. Toxic. Good. This muck gave me no end of shit. Because this guy knows Double Team, which is a pain in the ass. So the only if we burn it, it will die eventually. And Koga is one of the first gym leaders to have healing potions. So if you give it burn, it will die eventually. It's, I think, the only way to guarantee that it does eventually die, even if you're getting evasion locked. Because poison types are immune to poison. I don't think anything in the game, in base game, learned... Really? Really? The first sludge. You're killing me, Smells. Dan, don't take those nickels out just yet. There's no guarantee I beat Koga here. Especially because this is going much worse than it did last time. Do I have a photo store? I do.
Oh no, Nuzlocke run invalidated.
Oh man, I can't... Are you fucking kidding me right now? Okay. Watch, I'm gonna use this antidote here. And then it's gonna hit me with a sludge. And then I'm gonna get poisoned again. Oh! I hate this game so much.
Wait a minute, chat. You telling me this game has AI? No, Raichu.
Okay, you know what? Yeah, we're doing this over again. Fuck this.
Redo.
Okay, and then we're gonna remember to save. Is the other thing that we're gonna remember to do. Okay. Okay, and now we'll start with Ninetales this time. Listen, I've been... Save scumming is just something that I'm just naturally... I don't give a crap with Pokemon, man. Like, I don't care. When will Pokemon... Doesn't... don't the Switch games technically give you more than one save slot? Because you can have different profiles on the Switch.
Yeah, you can have different profiles. You just can't like.
Oh my god!
I mean, you can't put your save in. You can't save your save in the cloud.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm surprised they don't have clouds. It's like Nintendo does not have cloud saves for like the games that people would most want cloud saves for, which is like Pokemon and Animal Crossing. You know, games where, you know, it would be like very nice to have a backup because they're long time commitment games that people spend hundreds of hours in. So it's like one of those things where, you know, were something to happen to my Switch, I would like to have a cloud save backup of my game.
They're probably scared of people like over abusing it. Like they're probably scared of like abusing it to like do different things or something, but like it doesn't actually.
I mean, I think the problem is that people were going to do that anyway. You know, like people will put hacked Pokemon on the Global Trade Center the moment it goes live. You know, like that's just a guarantee. I guarantee you that will happen. You know, there's not much you can do about it. So you might as well make the service as good for, you know, because 99% of Pokemon players don't do shit like that. You know, the same thing with Animal Crossing. Like, most people play the game normal. So why not just make it as good for those people, you know? You're throwing the baby out with the bathwater, effectively. Yeah, Rico, that's basically the point, is that what this ends up doing... Oh my god, what it does is it's punishing people who don't cheat versus punishing people who do. You know? Damn. You did one smoke screen, bruh. Bruh. You're probably my best choice.
Not again.
No, we win. Like, we have healing items and stuff. It's just... Now it's just gonna be more annoying.
So close. Ooh.
It's fine. We win before we die. The annoying part is just that this is going to take 3 hits. Because Toxic, the thing about Toxic is that the first 2 or 3 turns, it goes off. It's not too bad. It's like once you get past like 3 turns or whatever, like the chip damage really once the chip damage has doubled the 4th time, that's when it's starting to take out like a quarter of your health or more, you know. So okay, there we go. 1 accuracy drop basically drops your hit chance. Really? It drops it that much? I always thought that that 1 accuracy drop was more like 1/8 of your like 100% move would be at about like 1/8 accuracy. But I also can't ever say that I've looked it up. I was just kind of going off of vibes. So now save. Okay, chat, we're going to save. We definitely are going to save. I just want to make sure I'm going to heal first.
Yeah, wait till you get to the Poke Center first, then save.
No save run. No save run. God. Do it. You won't. You know, now that you've made it a challenge.
Oh, you gotta leave your game. You gotta leave your console running.
Oh god, eat up my power bell for days on end because I can't turn the game off ever.
You don't have a memory card.
See, that was one of the weirdest things for me growing up, was when like there were just a handful of games on N64 that needed the memory pack. And it was just strange to me that like every other game could just save to the cart. So I was like, why do I need a memory card to save? I don't get it.
I know there's the expansion pack you needed for like DK64 and
yeah, so the memory pack was something that you would put like onto the back of the N64 cartridge controller. And it was basically like a memory card. You needed it for... There weren't a ton of games, but like if you wanted to like save your ghost data in Mario Kart 64, you needed to use a memory pack.
Right. Yeah, like I know. I grew up with PS1 and PS2, so I was used to memory cards. So like whenever I played Game Boy Advance and DS games, yeah, it was always weird that it saved onto the cart, not the system.
So like
no. DS saved to the system. DS saved to the system, not the cart.
No, the DS saves to the cart. 3DS saves to the system.
That's okay. Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
So
because the video store that they had a Game Boy game. They had Game Boy Advance games to rent. So it's like whenever I rented those games, it'd be like I'd see every the previous people's saves. So like that was always a funny thing to see.
So here's the thing for me. Like I understood, if it's a cartridge game, it can save on the cartridge, and if it's a disc game, it needs a cart. I got that. What I didn't get growing up was why N64 games needed why any N64 game would need a memory card. Because I was just like, you can just save it to the cart. And the reason for that is memory on the cartridge makes the cartridge more expensive to produce. So that's why they didn't they would just put that cost on the consumer and make it so that
it was also the same reason why on the NES only a few games let you save on the cart while most didn't.
Yeah, no, and it was only games like RPGs and Zelda.
And Kirby.
Kirby has a save feature? What?
Yeah, Kirby's Adventure has a save, which I think because that was one of the last NES games, so maybe they were just like, well, might as well just do it. I always found it so weird that the Kirby's Adventure has a save feature, but Yeah, Kirby's Adventure has a save feature, but Mario 3 doesn't. Because Mario 3 is a really long game.
Mario 3 is much longer than Kirby's Adventure by like
Kirby's
a lot.
Adventure's like an hour. Yeah, Kirby's Adventure is like an hour. Mario 3 normally is like 2 to 3 hours, so that's why.
Like honestly, if you play it like I do, it's more like 5. You know. Gee, why is this one Tangela so hard to catch? Stop. Get in the ball.
I think the reason why is because whenever we play it like we play all of the levels like in every world, while the method that you're supposed to play is that you just skip as many levels you can and get to the end of each world fastest. Because it's like the map is plugged up in a way that you can go in various orders and like skip a bunch of levels. So I think the game specifically wants you to skip levels, so you just go through it. So, but doing that maybe will make the game like about 2 hours maximum. But
Yeah, that's, I mean, and that makes sense. The thing I'm just wondering is just like, then I feel like I'm skipping the game. Like, I never really liked using the warp zone in original Mario, because I felt like, oh, I'm skipping so much of the game. I don't want to skip the game. I have the game to play it, you know?
Which is also why the Game Boy Advance version of 3 is the best version, because not only of all the changes, but like since it has the save, so it incentivizes you to actually play through everything.
Yeah, exactly. I think if it's level 5, we can just Raw Dog a Ultra Ball and it'll get caught. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm not gonna reset the Aerodactyl for like the optimal nature. I just want one that's not the worst possible nature that it can have, because Modest is the worst possible nature that it can have.
Also, you don't want to raw dog the Ultra Ball.
Listen, you were talking about how you were gonna beat it to Donkey Kong, so I don't want to hear it from you.
No, I was gonna beat the jungle. It's a very different case.
Listen, the jungle is not my first place of locations to beat it, alright? Like, with all of, like, the plants there, you can get a rash, you know?
A wimboet, a wimboet, a wimboet, a wimboet. The lion beats tonight.
Oh, God.
Whee!
How many air antidotes do I have left? A bunch, okay. Man, the water levels on Pokemon, like, I never got why, when you were surfing, the level, like, variance is so high. Because when you're surfing, you'll run into Pokemon that range from, like, level 5 to, like, level 5 to, like, 5 levels above what your level should be at this point. I never understood.
I feel like it's because the game has some, it has, like, the game doesn't know, like, because you don't get surf until much later, the game doesn't know exactly when you're going to actually explore these areas, so... Yeah,
but, I mean, I get that part, but at the same time, like, I think the game should know that we're not at level 5 by this point, because you don't get... Because, like, the game should know that if you got this far, you beat Koga, because you need Koga in order to surf. So, like, it should know, okay, your Pokemon are probably in the 30s, if not early 40s, at this point. So, like, I don't get why, you know, because water tiles work the same way as any other random encounter tile in the game, where they just get to choose a level range in Pokemon range at this, like, right before you do it. So I don't get why they didn't just put the level blocks the same way they did for every other location in the game, you know? Okay, let's see here. I was always sort of, like, I always wondered why Cinnabar Island got its own theme song. Because it's a really, really short area, all things considered. And it's one of the only towns in the game to have a completely unique theme song. Okay. Oh, trying to get Dark, trying to get Phoebus and Hoenn sucks. Like, to this day, I don't understand why Pokemon insists on having these absurd, like, cryptic methods of getting certain Pokemon. Like, if you look at the Pokedex, it'll tell you that Phoebus is on that one really, really long route. Nothing in the game even, like, hints that Phoebus is only available, I think it's like, what, 6 specific water tiles on that route that has a huge river going all the way through it. We're gonna save here, too.
You have to do the thing where you very carefully, like, move your D-pad so that you don't, like, you're just kind of moving your body around, but you aren't actually moving off the tile, since that still counts as a movement, so that lets you, like, kind of farm encounters in that one spot.
Yeah, so the worst thing, too, is that there's nothing in the game that tells you how. So nothing tells you you're on the right, tile. And the other thing is that it's also, when you're on the right tile, it's not guaranteed that you'll, get the Phoebus. It's like 85% Phoebus and 15% Magikarp. So you still have to, fish 2 or 3 times on each individual spot just to make sure that you didn't miss it. You know? And I mean, Melodic is also a really good Pokemon too. So, like, it could conceivably be worth it to, like, go out of your way for that. But it just sounds miserable. I've never wanted to do it. Okay. Let's see here. Hopefully, you're not a terrible... Brave. Oh. Dark. Brave is one of the bad ones, according to Dark. Man, hold on. What does Brave do? Increases attack at cost of speed. I don't know if I care enough to, like, keep resetting. I think I will. At least until I get one that's, like, down special attack or whatever. Not bad, but not good. Yeah, exactly. And if it wasn't a gift Pokemon, I wouldn't do this. You know. Theoretically, we could shiny hunt for Aerodactyl this way, guys. No!
Oh! Shiny hunting stream?
No, we're not doing a shiny hunting stream. I forgot to give it the nickname, though.
So you're not restarting for the Aerodactyl?
Hasty. Hasty is what? I think that's plus speed, which is good.
Hasty.
Plus speed minus defense. Fine. Good enough. Aerodactyl's already pretty frail anyway, so good enough for me, bruh.
No need to be hasty. Hasty.
Alright. Oop. Okay, and then we're gonna give him the EXP share.
Yeah.
I don't have the EXP share. Never mind.
Oh. Where is it?
Okay, hold on. Since we're here, I might as well give him the other... I'll give him the other fossil. I can't remember if you have to walk all the way out of the building or just in and out of the room. Yeah, just in and out of the room, okay. Alright. Aw, no. No, I just wanted to check just on the off chance it did end up being shiny. Stefan, chat wants to know what you think of the Switch 2.
I like the mouse. I think the mouse is pretty cool.
Man,
I'm excited for Mario Kart 9, but other than that, I know pretty much nothing about. Like, there's nothing really to like specifically get excited about the Switch 2, other than it'll probably be cool. And there'll probably be cool stuff on it.
Man, now mouse and keyboard purists will have to get a Switch.
Yeah, now you can play like real-time strategy games like the best way.
Oh, Arcat, yes, thank you. I'm so happy that they.
Oh yeah, they changed the charge. Yeah, that's right. So you can't you can never stick it up if you're charging. I also learned that yeah, because if you want to play Taiko Drum Master undocked, like you want to put headphones in, the plug is on that charged thing, so you can't stick it up if you want to play it like that.
At the very least, Taiko Drum Master is a game that I think would be more likely people would want to play. Like on docked mode versus like handheld mode. You know, because anything that uses a peripheral like that is probably more convenient to play at a TV.
But also, if you're playing on handheld, I can use headphones, and for a rhythm game like that, there's
that's fair. Yeah, I didn't consider the headphone element.
Like technically, the first time I played the game was right after. It was like literally right after TMG. I was at Caro's place. And like they were using the TV, but I wanted to play it, so I was like, "Well, let me do it while the thing was docked." But then I realized that the plug-in is on the charging spot, so I couldn't put it up on the stand. So I had to like leave the system like lying down while I was awkwardly looking at it.
I mean, Rico, the Splatoon competitive is already insane, because motion controls are just that accurate. Like, the skill gap for Splatoon 3, if you use motion controls versus not using motion controls, is insane. Like, I don't think that oh god, they only give you 5 experience each. No, we're not bothering. We're not level grinding him on the magic card. No thank you. I don't necessarily think that you'll need the mouse and keyboard to be like competitive with Splatoon 4 whenever that comes out. Also, considering that we don't know how good of a mouse the Joy-Con mouse is even going to be, you know? Like, it could be a really crappy mouse. You probably will be able to plug in a USB mouse, I would imagine. And then that's just more an option for when you're on the go. So that you have, like, something that replicates a mouse. You need to catch 50 Pokemon? Yeah.
I wonder how, what is it? I do wonder how many, how many tracks there are going to be in Mario Kart 9.
It's got to be less than the original, right?
Yeah,
than 8, right?
Yeah, if they're going to go back to the normal 32, are they going to do 48? Like, they're obviously not going to do 96, so it's like, are they going to do 32, or are they going to go to the original DLC 48?
I think, you know, this isn't something that I've really thought about before. How many Pokemon do I have in the Pokedex? 48. Oof. Okay. If I get 2 more Pokemon, I get the experience share. The unfortunate thing is I don't know what Pokemon I can get without just grinding, without like having to like grind for evolutions or whatever. So it's probably faster just to grind this guy normally, you know, with the swap method, instead of going out of my way to get the experience share. I was assuming they would do 36 tracks. Like, the idea of them doing 48 didn't really cross my mind.
Well, 32.
32, sorry, 32. But 30, I think that doing 48 does make a good amount of sense. you know, because you need. I think that people. The problem is that Mario Kart is in the unique position of competing with itself, considering that it's not only the most because the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with the Switch 1, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is one of the most best-selling games ever made. So you need to have a reason as to why you don't just go back and play. Oh wow, agility is actually really good. Why you have to have a reason not to go back and just play Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
It looks like the main draw is going to be whatever that, like, the 20-person mode.
So that is going to be a big draw. I just don't know if, like, that's going to be enough. This was something I was discussing yesterday when we were streaming, was that more players I don't necessarily think automatically makes it a more fun game without item rebalancing. Because one of the more annoying things about Mario Kart Wii, and why I don't think that game holds up very well at all, is that Mario Kart Wii, when it upped the rider count, the racer count from 8 to 12, didn't really think about how the added racers would impact items. Because more racers means more items. And on top of that, they didn't just, like, keep the same amount of, like, entire racetrack affecting items. They added more. Like, there's not just stuff like the blue shell and the lightning bolt. There's also the POW block, the blooper. No, blooper was Mario Kart DS, but you know what I mean. Like, they added even more items that affect the entire racetrack. I think that if they are going to do 20-something racers, they need to back down hard on the amount of that stuff.
Also, I think we might get, like, either it might be like Smash, where certain stages don't allow for, like, the bigger caps, or they'll make specific 20-person, like, stages. Like, maybe there'll be, like, a set of cups that are, like, the regular raid things, and then there'll be, like, a special set of cups that maybe at the end that's the, like, the 20-man race.
That could make sense, especially considering that I think if they're gonna bring back old tracks again, which they've done for 20 years. Oh my god, they've done it since Mario Kart DS, which came out in, like, 2005. Oh, that game's 20 years old. Ow, my bones. If they're gonna bring back old tracks, then they'd have to redesign a couple of them pretty substantially, and just make them a lot bigger, like at least a lot wider to fit that many people on the road at the same time.
Yeah, which they might, like, maybe there'll be like half of the retro stages, like maybe like half of the new retro stages are just normal, like they were done in Mario Kart 8, and then they do a half section of retro stages that are, here's the 20-man version of it.
So my thought though is that I think they're running out of stages to bring back, because Mario Kart, like, I remember looking at something, there were only a handful of stages that they haven't brought back yet. Like, I think there's only 1 or 2 stages left from Mario Kart 64 they haven't brought back, for example.
It's only one, and it's the bad Wario Coliseum.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah, that
like,
stage is pretty lame.
That back?
Yeah,
and,
that's...
I think every single map in Wii came back except for Toad's Factory. For some reason, I think technically, yeah, like, again, ignoring Mario Kart 2, because Mario Kart 2 brought most of them back, but, like, I think you could, yeah, like, obviously ignoring that, but it's basically the combination of bringing back, like, the ones that hadn't been brought back yet, but also bringing back the ones that have already been brought back because people like them, so they'll want to see them done in a newer style.
Yeah.
There are ones that have been brought back, but they've only been brought back in the 3DS version, so it's like, it's a lot of that, like, there's a lot of DS and 3DS only, like, stages, so it's like, those ones would be still good to see, like, on an actual consoles.
Yeah, no, Mario Kart DS just has not gotten a lot of love in general, despite being, like, my favorite Mario Kart.
yeah, like you have a like Airship Fortress was on Mario Kart 7, but not on 8. So it's like, yeah, that would be a great one to see. In
Mario Kart 7 had better tracks than I remember. I just didn't really play the game an awful lot. Like, it just kind of came out at a time, and I just wasn't really interested in it at that point. But, like, you look back, Mario Kart 7 has a decent track list.
I've seen people say that the new track lists in Mario Kart 7 is alright, but it has, like, some of the best retro tracks.
I don't remember what retro tracks it brought back.
I remember it had, like, a pretty good, like, it was, like, a pretty, like, decently large variety, recognizable ones.
Hold on, let me look it up.
I am in a Splatoon round, so I can't at the moment. I will look at it to...
Mario Kart 7 tracks.
Oh yeah, a Sunset Wilds that actually sets.
The AI overview once again is completely wrong, saying Mario Kart 7 only has 24 tracks and only 6 cups.
Whoops.
Yeah, no, the fucking AI is useless. Man. Let's see. Vehicle parts, courses. Let's see, new courses. Yeah, Toad, I'm looking at them right now. Toad Circuit is a fine enough first course. I don't really... Yeah, I need to look at... I might go back and play it at one point. So, retro course. Luigi Raceway, banger. GBA Bowser Castle 1. It's so weird that Mario Kart Super Circuit, when you play it on its own, is like one of the worst Mario Kart games. And yet, whenever they bring back a Mario Super Circuit track, it's always a banger. Like, I don't get it. Mushroom Gorge, that's probably my favorite Mario Kart Wii track. Luigi's Mansion, great. Koopa Troopa Beach, banger. SNES Mario Circuit 2 is Coconut Mall is pretty good. Waluigi Pinball is a fan favorite. Like, it's not my favorite, but it's good. Calamari Desert is a banger. Yeah. DK Pass. I don't remember DK Pass all that well, but it's probably
that's the
fine.
DS, like, that's the DS Donkey Kong.
Daisy Cruiser is really good. Maple Treeway is good. There's a lot of Wii tracks in this list. It probably used an altered version of the engine, so that's probably why. Koopa Cape was not one of my favorite. Dino Dino Jungle is awesome. Oh, Airship Fortress was in Mario Kart 7. That's why it was never done.
Yes, that was why. That's why I said it's on the DS. It was in the 7, but it was never on 8. So it's like you could get an HD Airship Fortress still.
Oh, and SNES Rainbow Road. I actually do not like SNES Rainbow Road.
I don't care for any SNES.
I think SNES Rainbow Road is one of the worst Mario Kart stages, actually.
I know a lot of people like it, but I'm like, I just don't care for the...
No, I mean, I don't like the track list in the original Super Mario Kart all that much to begin with. And on top of that, like, I don't think 90-degree turns work particularly well with Mario Kart controls. That's just me. You know, like, I get that Mario Kart, like, Rainbow Road is supposed to be a dangerous feeling track. I get it. But I feel like it's got the Baby Park problem of being too constrained, while also, unlike Baby Park, you can fall off and lose a bunch of time. So it's just frustrating. But yeah, I think if they could bring back some DS and courses.
Once I finish this round, I'm gonna go through all the games, see which ones they haven't done yet.
Yeah, it's only a handful of tracks from like the good Mario Karts.
Although the new, like, doing HD version of the GBA course is always fun because those GBA courses are very flat, so it's always cool.
They always go so hard on them. Like Cheese Land in Mario Kart 8, like, that's a completely reimagined level. That's so, like, Ribbon Road. Even the more simple reimaginings.
where Boo Lake, where they remembered the lake.
Yeah. But like even the more simple reimaginings that they did in the booster course version are still pretty fun. You know, it's like.
Yeah, the only problem is just Sunset Wilds.
I mean, Sunset Wilds is still a fun enough course, but they should have done the thing where the sun goes down on the third.
They didn't put the sunset in.
Yeah. Like, but that stage is still really pretty, though. And, like, I love the music in it, too. And, like, the dancing Shy Guys and whatnot. Like, they did everything right with that except having the sun go down when somebody goes into the third round.
Yeah, and I know a lot of people don't like Sky Garden because they do. Basically, it's a completely different level map.
Sky Garden's, like, just kind of there. It's one of the more, like...
And yeah, and everyone considers that the best stage in Super Circuit.
Oh, really? You see,
Yeah,
I didn't know that because I never played I only played Super Circuit a tiny bit. So I don't really have
I've watched a lot of different like Mario Kart like tier lists talking about like all the different stages in all the games. Yeah, Sky Garden is always considered by people to be like the best in that game. Yeah. The it has so many Rainbow Road. Mario Kart 8 has so many Rainbow Roads, and the 8 version is considered the worst one.
I think that level is a little bit overhated, but it's still like not a like terribly impressive Rainbow Road. Mario Kart.
I like the idea of it being like a space station that's like fused into the. It's kind of like a space station that's trying to colonize the Rainbow Road. I think that's kind of a fun idea, but yeah, like as a track itself, it's just not as inspired or interesting.
I'm of the opinion that Mario Kart 64's Rainbow Road is still among the best. I get that it's really long and there's not much going on during it, like the original 64 version. I get that, like, you know, it's a Mario Kart track that can take like 7 minutes to beat. But the vibes are just immaculate on N64 Rainbow Road. Like, oh man, it's so good. Whereas I think that doing like the 3 laps as 1 lap thing for the redo in Mario Kart 8, I wasn't a huge fan of that. Oh, did I already fight you? Alright, I guess so.
Alright, so let's see, from Super Mario Kart, let's see,
I'm assuming that there's probably a good amount of Super Mario Kart stages that they haven't brought back. Because they typically only bring back like 1 or 2. And that game has more stages than you would assume. Because like each cup has like 5. You know, it's just a matter of like, do they want to bring back, you know, Mario Circuit 2, Mario Circuit 4, Bowser's Castle 6?
Yeah, and not counting the fact that they all came back in Super Circuit. So.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
not counting that, Ghost Valley 1, Bowser Castle 1, Choco Island 1, Donut Plains 2, Bowser Castle 2, Koopa Beach 1, Vanilla Lake 1, Bowser Castle 3, Mario Circuit 4, Ghost Valley 3, Vanilla Lake 2, and Vanilla Lake 2.
Yeah, I've just never cared for any of the Mario. Like, the Mario... It's so weird that the Super Mario Kart stages, whenever they brought them back, they were so committed to keeping the retro, like, course layouts and whatnot.
Some of them. There was like Donut Plains in Mario Kart 8. That one was like, they kind of gave it like a clean. And in the booster course, they did, I forget which battle, but one of the Bowser's Castles from SNES got put in, like, that's like one of the last stages, and that one was one of the best.
Yeah. But it's just so weird to me because it's like they go so hard on updating Super Circuit tracks, and then for Super Mario Kart, it's like, well, we'll keep it like the old game, and then most of them end up being so weak.
Okay, yeah. So for Mario Kart 64, Wario Stadium is the only one that's never come back.
And that's like one of the weaker ones in that game. Like, I think Mario Kart 64 has not aged super gracefully, but I think that, you know, if we're looking at the...
it is the worst stage in that game, yeah.
Yeah, but like, the thing about Mario Kart 64, and part of why it holds up as well as it does, is it just has really, really solid track design that is relatively free of gimmicks. Like, it's just like, if you look at like the pure, like, race course design and how it's paced and whatnot, they're just all really well made. You know, they're not especially flashy by modern standards, but they're just good, you know. And that's part of why I think that the 64 courses... oh, stop it with the frickin' accuracy rules, please.
Let's see. So in Super Circuit, the only ones that they haven't done yet are Cheap Cheap Island, Yoshi Desert, Lakeside Park, Broken Pier, Bowser Castle 4, and Rainbow Road.
They never brought back the GBA Rainbow Road?
Nope.
Huh.
Not even in Tour.
I think GBA's Rainbow Road music is really underrated. But I think that music's great.
I think of that list, Lakeside Park would probably be the one I would want to see the most. Let's see, from Double Dash.
There's a lot of Double Dash stages that have never come back. Like,
Wario Coliseum.
Yeah, the Wario Coliseum in Double Dash is like excellent, an excellent stage, and it's shocking they've never brought it back.
Oh, Mushroom City. Mushroom City, Mushroom City, Wario Coliseum, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. Those are the 4 that from Double Dash that have never been brought back.
I know that a lot of people want Double Dash's Rainbow Road to come back. I'm not a huge fan of that track because I feel like it's a little bit like imagine that track with 24 players on it, or 22, or however many that they want. Like that would be almost undrivable with that one.
Yeah, I think Wario Coliseum definitely should, because Mushroom City we've gotten like alternates of that, so that's not like as necessary I think to me. But yeah, Wario Coliseum I think is different enough that I would want to see.
Wario Coliseum is like absolutely one of the stages I think that they should do. I think Wario Coliseum is like probably my favorite stage in that game, if I had to pick just one.
For DS, Figure 8 Circuit, which
that one they can keep.
Let's. I think is that the only one from DS that has never. Oh, Bowser Castle and Rainbow Road.
I don't really remember the DS Bowser Castle all that well. So
that's the one that's the one that has the spinny thing like at the top, and then you have like you could fall down to the bottom half of the stage.
Yeah. It's fine. Like, they brought back most of the really good stages, I think, for Mario Kart DS.
Yeah, and literally everything, it's literally just Figure 8 Circuit and then Bowser Castle and Rainbow Road. Which would be like, Rainbow Road has like a loop-de-loop in it, so that could have worked with anti-gravity.
That could have been neat, yeah.
Mario Kart Wii, Luigi Circuit, Toad's Factory, Mario Circuit, Dry Ruins, and Bowser Castle. So yeah, it's pretty much.
I don't remember Dry Ruins in Mario Kart Wii. I don't go back and play that game very often.
It's just the generic desert stage. I think you go inside a pyramid in that one.
Okay.
Bowser Castle is the one that has the giant. That has like the giant Bowser in it. Yeah, I think Toad's Factory is the one where it's like, yeah, that needs to come back. Mario Kart 7, let's see.
So it's weird to think about, but like Mario Kart 8 gets to have retro courses now.
Yeah.
Like
over 10 years old, so.
Oh God! Oh, my heart. So what's weird to me to think about is just like, would they have to just adapt like if they don't want gravity to be a major thing in the game anymore? Like, are they just gonna have to like redesign a bunch of the stages to not use like, or more accurately, like only have gravity in the Mario Kart 8 stages that they bring back? Is more what I mean. Because I'm trying to think, what are my favorite base game Mario Kart 8 courses?
Well, for Mario Kart 7, I feel like of the ones that they haven't that weren't brought back in 8, I feel like Woohoo or Maka Woohoo.
Oh yeah, both of the Woohoo tracks I think.
Yeah,
or at least one of them. I love Woohoo Island.
yeah, those two, one of those two are pretty much like they need to get one of those. Yeah, Mario Kart 8. Yeah, well, yeah, which one would? I feel like most
Toad's
popular-
Harbor.
Yeah.
Toad's. It also only has a little bit of anti-grav in it too, so it wouldn't be too hard on them to like if they have to remake that system for whatever reason. Toad Harbor is my favorite stage in the game. I love Toad Harbor so much.
Mount Wario.
I've never been a huge. I mean, I think part of it is just I don't particularly care for the stages that are only one lap functionally. You know, I've just never been a huge fan of those.
Yeah, I think just looking at the most popular ones are Toad Harbor, Sunshine Airport, Electrodrome, Mount Wario, Cloud Top Cruise. So, yeah, those are like probably like the most considered the most popular. And like Electrodrome would probably be like if they're taking out the anti-gravity, like Electrodrome would be something that would be hard to do.
Yeah.
Toad Harbor and Mount Wario might be the easiest ones to do without anti-gravity.
Yeah. I don't think they'll take out the anti-gravity. I think that they just won't use it for any non 8 course.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll like use it sparingly, you know, like how they don't really use a ton of gliding in or underwater. They do a fair amount of gliding, but they don't do a ton of like underwater in it, for example.
Maybe they'll add one. Maybe they'll add like one tour stage in the game.
Oh no, you got to bring back every tour stage with every city stage, especially. Don't you want to hear about
Tokyo Blur?
Oh god, it's like I don't think I really cared for any of the city stages.
Yeah, the city stages, no.
Berlin was fine. Berlin Byways is an okay stage.
All of the non-city tour courses, I thought, and most of them I think were like Ninja Hideaway. I think is excellent.
That one was really good. Yeah, the Yoshi's Island one was really good.
Bathroom level, Squeaky Clean Sprint. That's great.
Yeah, no, a lot of them were really good. It was
Yoshi's Island. That was great.
Yeah, no, it's just like there's so many city levels from tour, and they all like blended in together. Like none of the music was particularly memorable. Yeah, no, I was not a fan of the overabundance of city levels in Mario Kart Tour. I thought it was like
there's 14 of them.
14, yeah, that's so many. That's like what, like a quarter of the booster pass, right? Because the booster pass was 48 tracks, right?
Yes.
So half of it is 24.
30,
and
30%.
30%, yeah, that's so much.
But also considering the whole thing, like about the booster course, the whole thing about the booster course is that they're bringing it's basically to preserve all the tour tracks. So
yeah, I mean, and that's fair. It's just they're not very good. You know? So it's one of those things where, yeah, okay, I'm glad that they got preserved, but, you know, like, you could have made them better to begin with. Alright, chat. It's, oh, geez. You see, wow, it's almost like wasting an hour redoing content that I've already done, just to get a mildly better nature on my Pokemon. Like, ate up a bunch of time in my stream. Who would have thought that, you know?
Think of it like this. 15% of the courses are... Yeah, about 15% of the courses in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe are not that good. But, like, that's like 15 out of almost 100, so...
Yeah. No, it's just also... It's just, you know, because of the way that the online voting in Mario Kart 8 works, those are just always going to be the ones you played, because one dickhead will choose it, and then the rest of them want to pick a good stage.
Or they pick random, and it's just going to be one of those 15%.
Goddamn Electoral College.
Which one are you going to get?
Hitmonchan, I think, because I normally go for Hitmonlee. Not that I'm going to use it, because we have a fighting type already.
Also, I think, who is it? the special attack guy is because Lee is the special attack guy, right?
So no, neither of them have special attack.
Oh, no, defense. That's
Yeah,
okay.
he's Top is really annoying to get because like it's really hard to like, especially with natures and stuff. It's really difficult to ensure that he lands on exactly the same attack and defense.
Because the Lee is defense, right?
I think Hitmon Lee, you have to have more attack than defense, and Hitmon Chan, you have to have more defense than attack.
Okay, because so I mean, the defense is the better to pick for the early game because since he gets a lot of special attack moves and he doesn't have that good of a special attack, so it doesn't really benefit him. While like having a higher defense definitely is the benefit. Like when they do the physical special split later on, then he becomes good because he can use special. He can use like Fire Punch and Thunder Punch, and they're like effective. Where like now in early game, like with these early gens, they don't work.
You just never get Hitmonchan early enough in the Gen 1, 2, and 3 games to where like you would be able to reasonably take advantage of Fire Punch, Thunder Punch. Because like even though it's a lot of type coverage, his special attack is so bad it doesn't matter. Yeah. I wonder how well... Oh, damn! Okay. He's faster than I thought.
31 monkey.
Okay! That's 10 levels above where he's supposed to be, for the record.
Aerodactyls are strong.
They are strong, and I mean, I get that this is also a Stage 1 Mon, but still, that's... What, 12 levels? That's a lot. Watch, though, he's gonna do 5. Oh, no! Wow, okay. You see, this... Why I never really ever used Aerodactyl or Kabuto or anything like that, because I always assumed that, like, having to level it up from level 5 would just be too much work. But, like... Damn, Daniel. Like... It holds up pretty damn well. Even, like, I think that, because most of the Pokemon in the Silph Co are, like, level, like, in their 20s. They're pretty weak. So, like, I think we'll probably be able to, like, solo most of Silph Co with Aerodactyl. Let's go heal one more time, beat the boss, and then we'll do Silph Co. And then I'll call it a night at that point. Because otherwise my very, very funny stream title will not be relevant. Damn. How high do levels go in this? So Pokemon's level cap's 100. The champion is typically like low 60s in Pokemon, in most of the early games at least. Gen 2 has a weird level curve, where like the Elite Four ends at like level 45, the Elite Four ends at like level 45. The Kanto gym leaders end at like the low 60s, and Red is like in the 70s, is like in the late 60s, high 70s. So typically by the end of the game, you're expected to be like in the 50s level-wise, or like high 40s. Mind Reader is one of those moves that makes it so that your next hit always hits, right? If I remember correctly.
Yes, I believe so.
Okay. That's actually not like the worst with High Jump Kick, considering that High Jump Kick, if you miss, it's pretty bad. But like, from what I remember, like the only really good thing to do with stuff like Lock On in my reader is just to cheese with one-hit KO moves. You know, Hitmonchan's defense is shockingly good. Oh, shit, I said the thing! Oh yeah, but that's just how bad its special attack is. He had a type weakness, and I'm 16 levels behind him, and it only did about half that health. With that said, we can't guarantee a kill next time, so we are going to swap. Are you still playing the Danky King?
No, I stopped that a while. I mean, how would I be able to play it while I'm on a call with you?
I don't know. Maybe if you're good at video games, you could do it. The Donkey Kong Jungle Beat low decibel challenge. If your decibels ever go above a certain amount, you
get shot.
You get shot. You have to somehow clap your hands really quietly. Like,
I know you can, if you snap in front of the mic, it works.
Yeah, I always blew in it. Like when you're playing Donkey Konga, if you ever, have, the part where they want you to clap repeatedly over a long period of time, I always just blew into the microphone, and it counted that. Alright. Silph Co is a fairly meaty dungeon. I'm not sure if we'll finish it today. Because there's a lot of stuff in it. Although I don't think I need to go to bed as early as I normally do, because I fell asleep on the couch earlier, so that's gonna screw with my sleep schedule a little bit anyway. Oh yeah, so Stefan, we were talking about this earlier. Don't you find it a little bit suspicious that Team Rocket so easily were able to infiltrate the Silph Co? You know? And have you noticed how hard it is to get into the president's office? Yet Giovanni just somehow manages to get in there with ease. That's like a little suspicious, don't you think?
It's almost like he's the Yakuza.
No, I'm saying that there's like some corruption going on in Silph Co.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he's the guy. He's in charge. He's the Yakuza. So he would have like methods of getting in touch with these corporations.
Oh yeah, Bite's bad on mostly physical Pokemon in this gen, because I get why they did the special split. I really do. But trying to learn Supersonic, is that even worth learning? Not really. Like, that's not what I'm
used to. Doesn't that just make someone confused?
Yeah, it's worse Confuse Ray. Because Confuse Ray has a 100% chance of hitting. And Supersonic's like 80, I think. So it's just worse Confuse Ray. Which is part of why Zubats are really annoying, is because Zubats learn both Supersonic and Confuse Ray, and in some routes in some games, they will have both of them at the same time. So it's like half the time, they're confusing your Pokemon. And the damn Aerodactyl's a house. I really like, I don't know, man. Something about the sprite work in the Gen 3 games, I just have a really big soft spot for.
They're very appealing. It's like how I feel about the Gen 4 ones, just because that was my game, so there's just an appealing nature to those sprites.
But it's just like, I also feel like the sprite quality didn't go that much higher between gens. You know, like if you look at the Gen 3 sprites and the Gen 4 sprites, the Gen 4 sprites aren't that much more detailed, I guess is more what I'm thinking about. They're a little bit more detailed.
Emerald was the first one that added a animation.
Actually, Pokemon Crystal was the first game in the franchise to have animation.
In Gen 3, okay, yeah, because Ruby Sapphire and then these two games, they just are stilted when they pop in. So
yeah.
I'm glad that they made the animation a permanent thing, because it makes the Pokemon feel more.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's just really weird how Pokemon goes, because like they add features and then take them out all the time. Like Gen 2, they add day-night. Cool. They take it out the next game. It's like, huh? They add it back in the game after, you know, and then they take it out again. I think they take it out again Gen like 8 or 9. I think one of those games doesn't have day-night. I don't really remember.
Yeah, I don't remember which one.
Yeah, but point being, like, and that isn't the only thing either. Like, there's a lot of features that they just randomly remove in Pokemon.
I do think Gold and Silver deserve more. I think they deserve more respect as being one of the best sequels in video game history.
Pokemon and Gold and Silver, it's so weird because it did have that respect for a really, really long time. And then it's just like, you know, maybe like 10 or so years ago, maybe a little bit less than that, people started poo-pooing on it a lot. Because
I think people see it as just, there's so many generations of Pokemon, so they just see it as, oh, that's just another generation of Pokemon, and it's your favorite if you grow up with it, etc., etc. But like when you look at how much of a Scotch tape and gum mess that Gen 1 was put together in,
yes,
and how objectively everything was improved in Gen 2, it's like you really be like, no, yeah, this was like 100% an improvement in every way.
You know, Gen 2 is one of the best sequels of all time. Fun fact, it's many of the ways it's one of the best sequels of all time is how it pulls from Dragon Quest 3. Yeah, look at me being the Dragon Quest scene at the moment. But like, I would love to, I don't do like scripted content anymore at all, but I would love to make a video talking about the ways Pokemon pulled from Dragon Quest. Because if I remember correctly, there's like an interview with Masuda where he talks about one of the inspirations for trading Pokemon being one of his friends had gotten 2 copies of one of the rare drop items in Dragon Quest 2, and he wished that he could get one of those, like he wished that his friend could give him one of them. But also Dragon Quest 3's like second half of the game, where you go back to the world from Dragon Quest 1, is very definitely an inspiration for Gen 2's going back to Kanto after you beat the Elite Four, for sure. And just like the non-linear nature of it, Dragon Quest 3 was like a huge inspiration for Pokemon Gen 2 in particular. And like I know that it's easy to say, oh well, Dragon Quest inspired every JRPG because it's the first JRPG, but you know what I mean about that. Like some games, it pulls a lot more than just that. Make the video. I'm not good at scripted content. Like I feel like I always come across so stilted whenever I try to read something off of a script. You know, I don't sound natural. Okay, Stefan, hear me out. Does Magneton look like it's just it's obviously just 3 Magnemites stuck taped together, but do they look like they're doing like an anime pose to you? Like the Ginyu Force from Dragon Ball Z?
Kind of, but it's like since the other two are upside down, so it looks like they're just kind of like, they're kind of doing it, but it's like, it's not less like that's more so that the other two are like, whoa, we're just hanging out here.
Magneton doesn't have Levitate? I thought it did.
No, I think because it has like an electric. I forget what it is. There's an electric.
But it's levitating off of the ground.
Yeah, it's like, I mean, there are other Pokemon like that are levitating but don't have levitate. Or, because I know in future games, there's a possibility of getting 2 different abilities, so
Yeah.
it also makes having levitate be.
I think Gen 3 was the game that added abilities. Some Pokemon have multiple abilities, like they just have multiple abilities, and some Pokemon just don't. I don't think hidden abilities existed until Gen 4, where like most of the time they would have one ability, and you could only get the other one via special means.
I know, like, because what was it? I could be completely wrong about this, but I believe it was like Charizard, Aerodactyl, and Gyarados were supposed to be like mono dragon type, but though because of how the dragon type worked, because of how like the dragon type like thing worked, they would only be weak to like of all their weaknesses, they would only be weak to dragon. And since the only dragon type move was Dragon Rage, they would basically have no weaknesses. And
Well,
they realized
ice type attacks, but
there was no ice there in Gen 1.
yeah, there was. Lapras, Cloyster, Seal, Jinx.
Oh, no, they wouldn't be weak to it. It'd be neutral because fire, water, and ice resist it. Fire, water, and rock resist ice, so the weakness to the dragon ice weakness would be neutralized. So the only actual weakness they would have is dragon.
Oh, okay, I see, yeah.
Yeah, so it's like having a starter that you could level up to have no weaknesses. I think they realized, okay, that'd be too broken, even for this game.
I mean, it
Like,
still probably wouldn't be better than the psychic types in Gen 1, to be honest.
Grant Killer said that's just a rumor, yeah, because I didn't never remember hearing that from an official source. That was just kind of like something I heard, like, seeing mentioned, so I was probably just that was a theory craft that people had, because, the 3 Pokemon that kind of looked like dragons, if they were dragon type, they'd basically be like the best, they'd be even more the best Pokemon in the game, so...
I think I'm fine with Aerodactyl not being a dragon type because it's a dinosaur, and dinosaurs to me are not dragons. Even though many like dragons, like myths of dragons, probably came from finding dinosaur bones. Like, like that's probably where a lot of the mythology for dragons came from. But like to me, dinosaurs are not dragons, so I'm fine with Aerodactyl not being dragon type. It's one of those things where I never really thought about how like Charizard is very clearly a dragon. Like I always just accept it at face value. Oh, Charizard is fire flying. That's just what he is. Yeah. So like I never really thought about. Oh, he really should be dragon type.
Yeah,
so,
I think the fact that both Aerodactyl and Charizard, they have very clear wings. It's like, yeah, I buy them as blank flying. But Gyarados is like, that man can't fly. He got no wings.
Yeah, no, Gyarados should be water dragon with levitate.
I wish more Pokemon media actually embraced Gyarados supposedly being able to fly, because it feels like most never do. It's like, you're flying type, you should be able to fly, but they never actually show him.
Gyarados can't learn fly, even though you definitely should be able to ride that thing's back while it flies. There was a video I watched not too long ago that like went through every Pokemon that should be able to fly and like calculated their weight and like, how much strength they should have and, adding on the weight of a, roughly 10-year-old boy and whatnot and seeing like which Pokemon should reasonably be able to fly and whatnot. I personally find it very like... So this is like the game theory thing. I never really cared for the game theory stuff that was like, oh, who did the Five Nights at Freddy's stuff? Like, I never was a huge fan of whenever they did, like, lore theories. But whenever they did, like, how much would a bullet bill actually hurt if it hit you? Kind of stuff where you, like, take a video game and try to apply real-world math to it. Like, I always thought that was very, like, entertaining. Because it's like, it's taking a silly premise and applying realistic math to it, for one, is just I find amusing, and two, you learn some stuff, which is pretty cool. Charizard couldn't learn fly until yellow. That's actually really funny. I mean, doesn't Golurk have rocket shoes? It learning how to fly makes sense to me. Stefan, are you still playing Splatoon?
No, I stopped that a bit ago.
Could you please do me a favor and look up what level Dugtrio learns Earthquake in Fire Red Leaf Green? Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm getting really sick of Dig taking forever.
You said Dugtrio?
Yeah.
51.
51? Damn, we're never winning. It's never happening, guys.
What level is he at right now?
Like 37.
He's gonna learn Slash next level.
Slash is fine.
If this was Gen 2, he learned Earthquake at 49.
That's still, you still probably don't get to level 49 until the post game.
And Gen 4 is 45, so they just kept pushing it back.
Yeah, it's almost like Earthquake's one of the best moves. And, well, you know, I think getting it around level 45 is reasonable. Because Earthquake is just one of the strongest moves in the game. So making it an endgame move is definitely fair. I think level 50 is a little bit late to be getting Earthquake, but, you know, I think level 45 is, like, around the right spot. We did it! Okay, hold on a moment. First off, I just realized that if you're gonna be out in front the entire time, you should be the one with the amulet coin at the moment. And second off, I want to check what's your stats at the moment. 84, damn. We've got a pretty fast team, too. Yeah, no, I think Aerodactyl's attack is going to be pretty damn good, I would say. I know that this is probably the wrong way to explore Silph Co, but I always, like, would go up all of the stairs and explore every room this way before I would do any of the teleporting. Okay. Stefan, did you ever play Gen 9?
No, I didn't get a chance to play Scarlet or Violet.
Okay.
I've been meaning to play Legends Arceus because that looks fun.
I like Legends Arceus, but it's very clearly rough in many ways. Like, it's still astounding to me that that's a first-party... Well, I don't know if Pokemon's technically first-party, but you know what I mean. Like, it astounds me that that's a high-profile Nintendo-produced game can, like, graphically look worse than some games I've seen on the PS3. You know? But, like, the gameplay is very solid.
Legends Arceus, at least I think looks generally fine. Like I've seen a lot about Scarlet. Like I've seen Scarlet and Violet chug like all hell.
No, if you look specifically at the the texture quality, the pop in, you know, the frame rate and whatnot. Legend Arceus is not there's not a good looking game at all. There's a lot of weird glitches too, like there's one part of the game where like the sky goes dark, and during my run of the game, I had a glitch where when I was riding one of the Mount Pokemon, instead of having the normal brown dust trail behind it, it had a green dust trail, so it looked like it was farting everywhere. Man.
I've seen like I've seen people say Scarlet and Violet is like the gameplay is arguably one of the best of like the last couple of gens, but it runs the absolute worst out of any Pokemon game.
I still would say that at the very least it's trying to be more ambitious than anything. Like, I would still say that like the wild areas in Gen 8 look worse than anything in Scarlet and Violet, despite it being more stable. But yeah, no, Scarlet and Violet is definitely a very, like, it's a mess, you know? It's like... So, like, Gen 1 will always be, like, the least stable Pokemon game, you know, and, like, the glitchiest and the wonkiest. But Scarlet and Violet gets pretty close. And I think one of the things about Scarlet and Violet is also that these are the kind of glitches that you run into without trying, versus to do a lot of the weird broken stuff in Gen 1, you have to do like weird stuff that you wouldn't necessarily think to do. Like,
Also, one is a Game Boy game from the 90s.
Yeah.
There's a Switch game, so...
Yeah, it's like, okay, who would think to save during the, like, who would necessarily think to save during the Safari Zone and then fly somewhere else, and then fly back or whatever it is to get the Glitch City, you know? Like, that's something that can happen. Versus, like, when I was playing my normal run of Scarlet and Violet, I had multiple instances where I would, like, fall off a cliff and then be stuck in the air until the game had to, like, force warp me back to a different spot. You know, stuff like that. Anyway, in conclusion, I hope that Gen 10 doesn't come out for, like, another...
It's probably next year.
Yeah, but I would really like it if they gave it another year even after that. You know?
Yeah, 'cause it's been... It will have been 4 years, like, by next year, and that's typically how long between... It's usually 3 to 4 years in between gens.
Is that including the, DLC?
Yeah, because I need to double check. Because Scarlet and Violet came out in 2022, and then Sword and Shield, I believe, came out in 2018.
It did. It sure did.
And Sun and Moon was 2016, I believe.
Yes, because Sun and Moon was the 20th anniversary game.
Right.
Sun and Moon is another game that I think people rag on too much.
Yeah, I like Sun and Moon a lot.
Sun and Moon's like one of my favorite games in the franchise. Like, it is certainly annoying that like there's a lot of cutscenes, so the beginning of the game's pacing isn't as strong. But it's also just nice that the game has a good story, you know? Like, you know, fuck me for wanting a good story in my RPG, right? You know. Show Team Rocket a little respect. I don't know about that, Chief. I also find it funny that despite literally just being the cartoonishly evil bad guy group, Team Rocket is still one of the better villains in Pokemon. Like, because I'm trying to think. Magma and Aqua suck balls. I know a lot of people like Galactic. I think Galactic is bad. Plasma's good. Plasma's good, yeah. Plasma's good. It certainly, I don't think it holds up as, I was talking about this in an earlier part too. I don't think it necessarily holds up as well. Because, like in hindsight, because I think that a lot of the writing in Gen 5, unfortunately, is kind of aged poorly. But I do think that, like, definitely the ambition is appreciated in Gen 5's case.
Okay, so,
Gen 6 and Gen Team Skull is legitimately very, very good.
Yeah, Skull's good, yeah.
Gen 6 and Gen 8 have terrible villains. I think the villains in Gen 6 and Gen 8 are abysmal.
I don't even remember who the guy in 8... I can't remember who the ones in 8 are.
No, you don't remember that climate change isn't actually real and it's only a problem that'll happen 3,000 years from now, Stefan?
Was that the guy in... Was that the guy in Gen 6?
No, the guy in Gen 6 wanted to blow up the world, but his team was a bunch of, like, fashion-obsessed weirdos. Yeah.
Yeah, so Gen 1 is 3 years from 96 to 99, then 2 years between 99 and 02, then 4 years between 02 and 06, then 4 years from 06 to 2010, then 3 from 2010 to 2013, then 3 from 2013 to 2016, then 3 from 2016 to 2019 for Sword and Shield, then 3 from 2019 to 2022, and then probably 4 years from 2022 to 2026.
Yeah, so on average, 3 or 4 years.
3 or 4 years, so yeah, almost certainly Gen 10 is 2026. Yeah, especially, that's why they have, Legend ZA. I mean, I still don't know what, again, I think the whole reason they probably did that because they're like, oh, we need because obviously Scarlet and Violet needed extra time, especially considering that Legends Arceus was already planning to come. I mean, that came out in January 2022, and you have Scarlet and Violet in November 2022, and it's like,
yeah, there was also the pandemic too. Also,
yeah. You should have delayed Legends Arceus to November 2022, and then made Scarlet and Violet come out November 2023.
Yes.
And like that probably would have fixed a lot of their issues, but they couldn't because they probably had like, oh, we've already set that we need all of our Gen 9 merch and cards and all of this stuff by end of 2022. So it's like, you gotta get that game out by then.
Yeah, no, that's the frustrating thing about Pokemon is just that because it's more than just a game series, like, it's still to this day, like, it's to the detriment of the quality of the games. It's like, Scarlet, Violet, Sword, Shield, Arceus, all definitely could have used an extra at least 6 months in the oven before they all came out. But you just can't, and base Nintendo would absolutely do that. Like if a game, that's part of why like a game like Zelda Breath of the Wild kept on getting delayed over and over again. Or if like...
Or Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like, main Nintendo, if a game needs time to cook, they will let it cook because they ultimately care how people
Or Metroid, or just like be like, yeah, we'll restart Metroid as many times as we need to.
Yeah, because ultimately Nintendo cares about how people view their games.
It's the issue of like when you have like, because yeah, everything is owned by Nintendo. Pokemon is owned by 3 different companies that have 3 different. It's Pokemon,
Creatures
Nintendo, Pokemon Company, and Creatures that are, and then Game Freak is just in the middle, kind of like having to work with all 3 of them. So
yeah, and I guarantee you that if they could get Nintendo out of that picture, they would absolutely do that. They would do that without a second thought.
Who's Ted's friend? I'm Ted's friend.
Yeah, that's Ted's friend. That's what it says on the birth certificate.
I'm Ted's friend from FTCR.
Weird that his Canadian parents knew who I was when I was like, how old are you again? Like 7, like 30, like 29,
28.
28. Yeah, when I was a 4-year-old kid, several hundred miles away.
A 4-year-old kid in Boston. They knew there was a 4-year-old kid in Boston.
Yeah,
that he was going to befriend almost 10 years, 9 years ago. Now 9 years. Yeah, because I met you in 20. Yeah, pretty sure I met you in 2016.
Was it 2016? It was at a MomoCon, right?
Did you go to TMG 2016?
I think so. It's really hard to remember because that was such a long time.
I can go through my. Let me. I can pull up my pictures.
I remember. I definitely met Caro at a MomoCon.
Yeah, you probably met her at MomoCon 2015 because that was when the rest of the other FTCR members went to MomoCon 2015. Let's see. I can scroll all the way up to June 2016. Picture of there's a picture of Catherine.
Yeah, no, I definitely was at.
Yeah.
I think we had met before MomoCon TMG 2016.
Oh, there you are. Yep, I found a picture. Yep, there you go. Yeah,
because I definitely knew you by the time me and Catherine were at MomoCon 2016, for sure.
I started doing stuff the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. So
okay, so it was probably end of 2015 then, I would imagine, because I met Catherine sometime around 2014, and I definitely
I was in. I think because the first thing I ever did with you guys was a stream with the first Splatoon game.
Oh, okay.
That was the first ever BSC thing with you guys. I think during 2015 I had gotten friends with some of the FTCR guys, but it was just kind of like you guys were like another group, and then I think it was Ryan invited me to I think because I was chatting with him about something for whatever he'd be there. They were like, he was like, oh, we're streaming Splatoon, and he's like, oh, you want to join us? And I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, because 2015 sounds about the time when we were still doing streams on BSC semi-regularly, and Splatoon came out 2015, so
yes,
that also makes sense. Did they say, remind me, Stefan, did they say if Prime 4 was coming out this year?
The aim is for Prime 4 to come out this, there's no official date for it yet, but they're because they made a whole it was an official post of here's the Nintendo game set to come out in 2025, and it was Donkey Kong Country Returns, Xenoblade X, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Metroid Prime 4 Beyond.
Okay. And they're obviously going to announce a bunch more after, at the Switch thing.
Yeah, well, we don't know if they're going to do the Zelda thing of having Prime 4 be a simultaneous Switch and Switch 2 thing.
I think it's that's my bet. I would be very surprised if they didn't do that.
Yeah, because they did confirm that it is a Switch. It's not like they made it into a Switch 2 game. It is a Switch game. They confirmed that. But just whether it's also a Switch 2 game, we don't know.
Yeah, my guess is simultaneous release Switch and Switch
They could do the Game Boy. They could do the Game Boy Color / Xbox Series X thing, where it's just one game, but you play on the Switch 2 version. It's far more optimized.
Yeah.
Maybe do that.
Because we don't really know how the Switch 2's backwards compatibility is going to work out. Like, if it's one of those things where the game, like, the Switch 2 detects that it's playing a Switch 1 game and will, like, put more power into it. Or if it's something more like, or more standard where it'll just be two versions of the game. One on Switch and one on Switch 2.
Yeah, because I know that's something that PlayStation does, where it's like if you get a PS4 game and you put it in a PS5, and there is a PS5 version of it, you can play the PS5 version.
Thunderwave is convenient, sure is. We have the card key, so I think we can pretty much just go wherever the hell we want. I do remember that I think it's this teleporter here brings you to the way you need to go. Yes, it is. That's because that brings you down towards the rival fight. Also, why is the rival here? Like, just to be a douchebag? There's a company-wide takeover going on, and the rival's just here. It's just like, yo, it's...
He needs some Pokeballs.
Yeah, there's a store literally like a block away.
He wants the Master Ball.
He went through a freaking teleport maze for no reason.
He got tired. He was like, oh, I tried.
Oh wait, or is it this? Is it this one? No, I don't know. Whatever. You'd think I've probably beaten this game at least 30 times. So you'd think I'd remember by this point, you know, where all the teleport doors go, but whatever. Giovanni paid him to be in... You'd think that Giovanni would have better options than to pay some snot-nosed 12-year-old to beat us up, but, you know, whatever. Yeah, so it's 2 weeks from this Wednesday is when the Switch thing comes out, right? The Switch Direct?
I think so. It was April something. It's like early
April 2nd. Yeah. I might have to have Ligma that day. You know. Sorry, boss. I can't come into work. I have Ligma.
Just watch it on my phone while I'm doing it. Just 'cause I mean, I'll probably not gonna even watch. I just need to see people's updates talking about it anyway.
No, I just prefer, like, I could my work isn't too busy. I could probably get away with having it on, but I wouldn't be able to, like, have the sound on or anything like that. Ooh, Agent Power, that's a good one. We'll learn it instead of... You're working during it? That sucks. I mean, we don't have a time yet, but I assume it'll be in the morning, because most Switch Directs are in the morning. They're
usually
like,
at like 9. Yeah, they're usually at like
9 a.m. Eastern time, and
yeah.
I feel bad for the West Coast who are watching it at 6 a.m. their time. Like, that's rough. Switch 2 mousepad? Oh, they announced a mousepad for the Switch 2? I mean, I suppose you could just use any mousepad.
No, it's not confirmed. It's not confirmed. Like, well, because since there's a mouse, I think I've seen people think that they're going to include a mousepad, but that's not been like, it's not official yet. It's more so just like, oh, if they announce a mousepad coming with it.
I mean, a mousepad makes sense for when you're playing docked, I suppose, but it's not like if I'm playing. I play my Switch portably, like. 90% of my Switch play is done portably. Like, I don't want to be looking on a mouse pad with
Yeah, like those mouse controls would be the perfect time to finally do Kid Icarus Uprising remaster.
I want them to do a sequel, man. Like, I get that the original
Or a
game...
sequel, yeah.
I get that the original game is also really, really good. And I would be happy with a remaster, too. But I want a sequel. I want a sequel more, I think. Because as good as the original game is, there's a lot of wonky stuff about it, you know, that I think is... there's a lot of wonky stuff about it that I think that they could update with a sequel and make it better.
Nintendo's big thing late is that if they have a new game thing coming out, they make sure to have at least like some of the franchise on the console first, like how we had the Pikmin 1 and 2 come out very shortly before Pikmin 4. How they've got the Metroid games on NSO Online, and they put out Prime Remastered. How you had like the other Bayo games around Bayo 3 coming out.
Nintendo also like it makes sure to release something every single month too. Like this was something that I saw in a Good Vibes video that John did, where he goes through the release schedule for Nintendo games. And Nintendo releases at least one game almost every single month.
Oh yeah, I think I did that recently. I was looking at the Switch game because I was like, okay, how many Switch games did they release every year, and how many of them are original games versus remakes or remasters? Because I was always thinking of like, oh, Nintendo's just remastering or re-releasing games. So I was like, how many of them actually are?
There is a lot, but it's not like... But there are still...
Not as much as you think, yeah.
There are still... It's just that they release so many games, is the thing. Like, if you compare what they're releasing every year, you know, it's the same amount, roughly, of new games as they always have. It's just that they also want to have a game coming out every single month, so they do a lot of remasters.
Yeah, so between 2017 to 2025, they will have released 128 games, and 82 of them are like they're not old, like they're obviously they're sequels or part of franchise, but 82 of them are new games.
That's pretty good. You know, there's definitely like a lot of like Wii U ports and stuff like that. But you also have to consider that many of them are either like the definitive version of the game, like say like Hyrule Warriors, Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, Mario Kart Deluxe, where they're just like, you know, definitely a better version than the version that was before. Or they're like substantial redos. I'm thinking like Mario vs. Donkey Kong or Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition, where a lot of that game was redone in order to like use proper hardware. Because like if you compare footage of Xenoblade Chronicles on Wii to the Definitive Edition, like it's not even close. Like the game looks so much better than it used to on the Switch version.
Although at least like with that the gameplay core is still generally the same.
Yeah, but you know, it's like that's not something like say Donkey Kong Country Returns, where Donkey Kong Country Returns HD has definitely felt like one of the more like low budget kind of.
Okay, here's since the Switch came out, this is every month that Nintendo has skipped, that Nintendo has not released at least something.
Yeah.
January 2018.
Okay.
August 2018. May 2019. February 2020.
There's probably a few more in the 2020 and 2021 range, I would imagine, right?
Yeah, April 2020. August 2020. March 2021. August 2021, February 2022, May 2022, December 2022, August and September 2023, December 2023, April 2024, and yeah, and then now we have this year, February, and then yeah, we have February 2025. So it's like at least 1, maybe 2 months a year are skipped.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
then
you had a
that-
few with 3 like during the pandemic, but it's like Nintendo's a company that releases 15 plus games a year. That's insane. No other company has that kind of output. So
Yeah, like even let me look at like in 2020 and 2021, what let me see, like the non remaster or like remake game. Let me see. So it's like Jump Rope Challenge, Pokemon Cafe Mix, which those kind of don't really count.
yeah,
Paper Mario: The Origami King, Part-Time UFO, Hyrule Warriors: Age of Calamity, Fitness Boxing 2, Buddy Mission Bond, Bowser's Fury, Bravely Default 2, New Pokemon Snap,
well, I forgot that Nintendo produced Bravely Default too.
DC Superhero Girls, Game Builder Garage, Mario Golf Super Rush, WarioWare Get It Together, Metroid Dread, SMT5, and then yeah, there's a bunch of in there. There's like you have Clubhouse 51 games, Mario 3D All Stars, Mario Kart Live and Mario 35, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, Famicom Detective Clubs, the Miitopia re-release.
But stuff
Sword
like
Rage
I would
2.
even say that stuff like the Famicom Detective Clubs, like those are like those are functionally like new games. Like they had to like completely redo the visuals for them, which are gorgeous.
Yeah, I put them in 3 tiers. Like 1, which is like an actually new game. 2, which is like a remake of an old game, like from the ground up. And then 1 that's basically just a re-release of an old game with slight tweak.
Yeah.
Pikmin 3 Deluxe would be more so like that. That's more closer to just a re-release.
Yeah, I would agree with that. There's like
versus Mario Party Superstars is kind of basically a ground up remake because
Yeah,
they just take old stuff, but it's like done in new. So that's like that's a remake versus a remaster.
yeah, no, I would agree with that. But it's also stuff like like the Another Code remake, like those are effectively like from the ground up remakes.
2022 they did not release any remaster or remake. Every single game was.
Yeah, and it's not even just that, like, there were a bunch of small games there either. Like, there were big releases that year. Like, Metroid Dread was a big deal that year,
And yeah, Bowser's Fury.
Bowser's Fury, yeah. Like, Bowser's Fury is kind of an interesting case because half the game is a re-release.
Half a remaster and half a new game.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Splatoon 3 came out in 2022 as well. Yeah, that's a big deal. Xenoblade 3, that was a big deal.
Yeah, 2022 is like, yeah, you have Kirby in the Forgotten Land, Legends Arceus,
Oh,
and
Kirby,
Scarlet and
yeah.
Violet.
Legends Arceus, yeah. No, there were a ton of...
You had Nintendo Switch Sports, Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes, Xenoblade 3, Splatoon 3, Bayonetta 3, Mario Rabbids Sparks of Hope. Yeah, it's like everything. There's a bunch of sequels, obviously, but everything was an original game. They didn't have any remake or re-release that year.
I mean, you're never gonna... Like, Nintendo doing a bunch of sequels is nothing new. Like, they...
Yeah, no, that's why I don't like. I mean, like they're all franchise. Like, obviously, you're gonna have sequels, which is why like I don't think that's like a wrong thing.
I mean, I still am of the opinion that I think Nintendo should do more original games. With that said, though, they have so many franchises that people want more games for. That, like, especially when they bring out lesser known ones, I think that's totally fine.
Yeah, like in 2024, like there's always talk of like, oh, like the last 1 or 2 years of a Nintendo console, their output is like there's like pretty poor. Nothing comes out. But like last year, there was like Mario vs. Donkey Kong, Princess Peach Showtime, the Thousand Year Door re-release, Emio, the Family Detective Club game,
Emio's
Zelda
very,
with
very
Wind's
good.
Wisdom, Mario Party Jamboree, Mario Luigi Brothership. It was like they were still like trying and doing different things. They
Yeah,
just
no,
kinda,
there's
like,
there like I mean, you could definitely like argue the quality of some of those games. Like I know that some people have some issues with Brothership. I haven't played it personally, so I don't really know. And like Princess Peach Showtime seems to have had kind of mixed reception as well. But, you know, it's definitely, you know, if you compare that to like the last year of the 3DS's lifespan, you know, it's definitely like night and day, I would say.
yeah, I think like Showtime and Echoes of Wisdom were very much like they had mixed reception, but they were like a scene of like, well, at least this is different. At least this is.
Did
like,
Echoes of Wisdom have mixed reception? I thought people generally liked that game.
I think people liked it, but it was like Zelda, like in terms of like it's not like because since you expect Zelda has like this massive level of praise versus where people are just like yeah it's good.
It is definitely like aiming for a different thing. It's a smaller scale game. Like even on the, I'm not a huge fan of it. Mostly, not even just because it's a smaller scale game. I don't think the smaller scale of it isn't my problem with it. I mostly just thought that it didn't live up to what it could have done. You know. Just because I found that instead of having this wide toolbox that I could use, I just used the same 4 things over and over again.
Yeah, and then like Brothership is basically like it's an improvement of the last couple Mario and Luigi, but like it still didn't reach the heights of the series. So I think that's also why it was considered a disappointment in general.
Yeah.
But then you also have like Jamboree, which is like by far like arguably the best Mario Party since the GameCube.
Yeah, no, Mario, I think it's better than at least a couple of the GameCube Mario Parties. It's better than 4 and probably better than 5, I would say. Like, I think Mario Party Jamboree is excellent.
If it didn't have Mario's Rainbow Castle, I think it would have been better.
Yeah, Mario's Rainbow Castle, like...
Why here? What's Blood doing here? He thinks he's on the team.
It's like... I just don't get it, because, like, Superstars also brought back 2, Mario Party 1 boards. Mario Party 1's boards just aren't very good, you know? Yeah, man, look, bro missed with a explosion. Pathetic. But yeah, like, Mario... What boards from Mario Party 1 are even good? Like, the Wario board sucks. Peach's birthday cake sucks. Mario's Rainbow Castle sucks.
Luigi's Engine Room is okay.
The Yoshi Island is okay.
The Yoshi one's okay. The Yoshi one has there's like better versions of that type of setup.
Yeah, no. Versus, like, they've only brought back 1 Mario Party 3 board. You know, where Mario Party 3, I think, has some of the best boards in the franchise. So it's like, huh.
What was it? I don't think I actually finished the tier list, but I remember I was like, I want to do a Mario Party like board tier list.
That would be a fun video. Yeah.
Because I got all of the maps together because I was like looking through like here I got like a folder of all of the Mario Party boards and be like, okay, like I actually want to like rank all these because I think they'd be fun to do because they are like a lot of them are similar, but like when you actually analyze them, they're like varied enough that I think it's good to like point at them and be like, oh, why is this one better than the other?
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like the different boards in the franchise. I think that they had a huge missed opportunity with Superstars. I think that they could have re-released, they could have done like a bunch of DLC boards for Superstars and, you know, charged $5 to $10, like $10 for a pack of 2 boards, and people would have bought it. And it would have been awesome. I don't know why they didn't do it.
Yeah, like I'm looking. Yeah, I think the best straight line course I can think of is probably a Pagoda Peak from 7, because that one actually has like an interesting gimmick. with like the price of the star changes depending on where how you get to it. So I think that's probably the best way they handled the straight line, any of the straight line boards.
I don't really have much experience with any Mario Party 7 boards, because 7 was one of the games that I didn't have.
Yeah, same. There's Windmillville, which was then they moved into Mario Party 8 as Tycoon Town, where you pay in 7 it's you pay the windmills to get the stars, where then in 8 they made it for the hotels.
I didn't really like any of the boards in 8 from what I remember. I don't really remember liking any of the boards in 8, unfortunately.
You have Waluigi Island, which is the perfect level of BS of there's a lot of there's very purposefully you can tell it's very purposely designed in a dickish way. But
it's not really too unfair, all things considered. It's more just a matter of you don't have an awful lot of choice in what goes on. But everything's super telegraphed, so it's not like you're ever blindsided by anything.
Yeah, the Mario Party 3 boards are all very they're all very hectic in how many different pathways you can go to.
That's part of why I loved it so much, that there was a legitimately large amount of strategy for which path you could go down, and you weren't necessarily just going to beeline to the star right away, because stuff like Boo is so powerful that and it's such a trek to get to him. There's a lot of risk reward and stuff like that. Mario Party 3 is just so good, man. I love it.
Look at Deep Blooper Sea versus Chilly Waters, and it's there's so much going on these boards.
Yeah.
And then and then I go to Boo's Haunted Boardwalk, which is just a bunch of squares.
Oh, is that from Mario Party 4?
4. I think 4 has a lot of square boards.
Mario Party 4, I think, definitely had issues with the engine, because the game looks rough in comparison to Mario Party 5 and 6 especially. Mario Party 4's boards, I think, are overall pretty weak. Mario Party 5 is interesting to think about, because I think that the base design of many of the boards is fine. It's just the implementation of the capsule system is definitely very lower-hate a lot of the time.
Oh yeah, I found a Gooper Bloopers Canal from 7. I think that's one of the better kind of simple standard courses. Kamek's Tantalizing Tower is the best one in Super Mario Party.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
It isn't saying a lot, but it's still...
I mean, Super Mario Party was more just we were happy to have something that resembled old Mario Party, So even though the boards were fairly weak, all things considered, it was just still the closest thing we had gotten to a...
Looking at Luigi's Engine were probably the best of all the Mario Party 1 stages.
Okay, now here's a question. Are there any boards in Mario Party 9 and 10 that are decent?
Well, I'd even include any of them on this list, because they don't function the same as any. They're just a straight line through until you get to the end. So you can't really judge them on the same level as these ones.
You could compare them to Mario's Rainbow Castle, I guess.
Well, I guess the Goomba's Booty Boardwalk is probably the closest. That one is literally just a long straight line.
That's from 8, right?
Yeah.
Oh man. I never played 9, but Mario Party 10 was pretty miserable.
Yeah, Mystery Land, which is basically the better version of Wario's Battle Canyon.
Mario Party 2 is definitely a game where that game has a lot of good boards.
It's better, because Pyro Land is a better version of Yoshi's Tropical Island.
Yeah, because Mario Party 2 has a lot of good boards. That was the game. I didn't have that game growing up. I only had 3. So the thing whenever people go back to Mario Party 2 is it's rough for me because I don't like the mini games as much because there's so many of the mini games from 1 in 2.
But yeah, the Rainbow Galleria, which is definitely now one of the best ones.
Dude, oh, and Jamboree. Jamboree is a game I want to get more friends together to play. Like we should do some game nights for Jamboree.
I don't think I like. I liked the gimmick of Roll 'em Raceway at first, but after we played it, I don't like it anymore.
I guess the thing is that it's still like fine though. Like it's not.
It's 'cause I kept getting low rolls, and if you keep getting low rolls, it's like
it's definitely much more variance dependent. And I mean, granted, Mario Party is always going to be some amount of variance dependent. But like especially when the gimmick is roll a bunch of dice, you know, you can buy the like roll 5 dice at once special item and still roll like 1, 2, 2, 4 or something like that and only go like 6 spaces, and it's just like that does feel rough. But like I really like the Wiggler board in Jamboree is really good. I still haven't played all the boards actually. Like I haven't played the pirate board in the Goomba pirate board in Jamboree. I really want to do that. The Koopa Apple one in Jamboree is also a lot of fun too. Like
the Battle Royale was pretty fun.
Yeah, it's surprising because that's like one of the best side modes they've done in a Mario Party game. And most of the time the side modes in the Mario Parties are pretty whatever, you know. I have a soft spot for the dual mode in Mario Party 3, even though it doesn't really hold up as well as I would care to admit. I'm trying to think. Mario Party 5 had this weird, like, more board gamey side mode where it was, like, designed to be like a board game that you played on, like, the kitchen table. Like, there's no mini games and much less wacky stuff going on. It also had the weird robot mode. Did you ever play the weird robot mode in Mario Party 5?
I think so. That sounds familiar.
I don't remember it very well.
I played 5 a lot alone.
What were 6's side modes? I'm trying to remember. Oh, the microphone. Right, the microphone. The microphone certainly does exist. Certainly is one of the peripherals of all time.
I found it, so I can use it. I've never liked that Polyrath's design is just Poliwhirl with slightly smaller eyes and a slightly less detailed swirl.
He's jacked, I guess.
Kind of, but not really. It's like potentially the least substantial evolution design.
In Gen 1 for sure. I would say.
Other than the ones that are literally just multiple of the same one. Like not
yeah, but that's at least a more drastic change, you know? Whereas, like, Poliwrath just kind of looks like Poliwhirl's older brother. I'm trying to think of the other, like, evolutions, and, like, trying to think of one that's less substantial than that. In Gen 1.
Yeah, I don't think there is one. Like, there are ones that come close, but not really, like...
It's also... It's hard to compare, like, mid-stage evolutions for a lot of them, like Nidoran to Nidorino and Nidorina. No, but even those are more substantial.
Like one looks like one's like a little like the little rat and the big you can clearly tell you I guess again like Voltorb and Electrode, but that goes into the obvious ones like Douglit and Doug Trio or Magnemite and Magneton. Like those are kind of like the obvious ones.
But even then, the swapped color scheme for Electrode, it's very clear at a glance which one's which. Versus for Poliwhirl and Poliwrath, if you flipped them, if you like fuzzed out the screen, I think a lot of people would have trouble telling which one.
Or looking at them from behind.
Or just a silhouette, for example.
Yeah. Like Dugong is kind of like not really that much of a substantial evolution.
It
from
definitely
Seal,
looks bigger, you know.
Yeah, it's still it's obviously different.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of any, like, I'm running through all the Pokemon in my head.
Yeah, I don't think there is one in Gen 1. I don't think there is.
No, Seadra definitely has a more menacing look to it.
Than Horsey, yeah.
Yeah, Zubat to Golbat's pretty big, you know, he gets eyes and he's all, whoa! Golbat's the, like, living definition of that one emoji with the tongue sticking out, like, no, Ekans to Arbok.
I mean, if it wasn't for the leaf on Ivysaur's bat, I mean, Ivysaur is almost identical to Bulbasaur, just with a different color, but at least it has the bud to help it out.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Ivysaur isn't the biggest change.
Oh, Pidgeotto and Pidgeot, they look very similar.
Pidgeot does have, like, the flowing locks thing going on, though, at least.
But other than that, other than the flocks, it's pretty much the exact same bird, so I think that comes the closest.
Grimer to Muck, I think Grimer to Muck is obviously it's not a drastic, I don't think that Pokemon should have always should have a drastic change on evolution. Like, you should be able to tell that one is the evolved form of the other. I'm actually not a huge fan of when the evolution is a huge deviation. With that said, I think that, like, Muck is very clearly, like, visibly different. Like, the silhouette's different, it's much bigger, it's more threatening looking, whereas Grimer's just, like, a little guy, you know.
Another Clefable is like slightly taller Clefairy with, like, slightly smaller, with a slightly smaller face. But, like, Clefairy and Clefable are very close, where it's like Wigglytuff is more obviously different to Jigglypuff.
They both kind of do the same thing, like, where they just kind of elongate them. But the thing is that Wigglytuff looks more oval, and Clefable doesn't, so... Oh, here it is. Okay.
Kadabra and Alakazam are pretty close.
Yeah, but 2 spoons. He's double fisting.
Okay. Yeah, like right now I'm just kind of like, I mean, Slowbro is just Slowpoke standing up with a thing on his tail. So.
That's a big difference, like, versus having, like, not having the thing on its tail at all and it's always lying down. I'd say that's a substantial enough difference. Yeah, why are you here, bro?
I mean, like, you gotta, like, I mean, other than the mask being different, for all we know, Cubone and Marowak looks the same underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, well,
I've always thought that it's not always just about, like, the pure design, like, if you were looking at them as a T-pose. It's also about the posture. Whereas, like, Marowak, like, in the way that it's drawn and the general, like, vibe that it has going on is much different than Cubone, Cubone's always, like, crying and whatnot, and Marowak's just a badass.
Yeah, I'm just looking at them, like, I'm, like, looking through them as, like, from their design, like, from one design to the next, like, how similar is it? Like, how substantial of a change are they? Like, I'm looking through Gen 2 now, like, Gen 2 has a lot more significantly looking. I mean, like, Xatu is just Natu with, a big body.
No, Xatu definitely looks bigger. Like, the wings looking like a cloak.
Well, no, I mean, like, the head of a Xatu, it's like because Natu is literally just the head, so it's like if Natu grew a body.
Yeah, but I'd say that's a pretty substantial difference, you know?
I mean, yeah, like, at this point, it's more so just seeing, like, oh, which are the ones that look like the most, like, right now, I'm scratching hairs.
Like, trying to find, like, the most similar looking ones? Okay, I guess that makes sense.
There's not a lot of, I mean, Slugma and Macargo are pretty close. Like, the face of Macargo is kind of different, but they're closer look to each other.
I'm trying to think.
Remoraid evolving into Octillery is still always kind of, like, funny. Like, just a little bird. No, that's just a little like
like a little
that's just
fish
a
that
little-
becomes an octopus. Yeah.
yeah. And then I've always found it weird that Mantine has like the little Remoraid on here sometimes, but not all the time, and it's like, why?
So I think it always had it originally. And then when Gen 4 came out and they introduced the like different sprites for male and female, I think it's like female Mantines don't have it and male Mantines do. Like
Johnny's asking, Gen 3 Game Boy player, what year is it?
Johnny, holy shit, what's Johnny doing here? Wow. How are you today, Mr. Johnny?
Guys, the Smash 4 stream's starting. You've been asleep for 10 years.
Oh man, I wonder if they'll do another third party character for Smash 4.
Guys, did you hear Mega Man's gonna be in it?
No, that's ridiculous. They'd never put Mega Man in Smash Brothers. He hasn't had a game in 15 years. Yeah, we are almost at the end of this stream, just so you guys know. After I beat Giovanni here, we're going to save before Sabrina. And call it a night then. Alakazam. I have nothing that's good against Alakazam. Actually, you might be fine. Because you're fast and you have good special... you have good physical attack.
Oh, good.
I was just saying, we've been doing Gen 3 over the past couple weeks. Once... Oh, we got the boost! Yeah. Once I beat Pokemon, I'm gonna start doing Dragon Quest on these streams.
Yeah, I'm looking through for Gen 2, like, once you get to Gen 3, the evolutions look... The evolutions look more and more significantly, like, different.
Yeah.
Like, they're far more, like, there's less of, oh, that's just this Pokemon with slightly different changes to it.
It's honestly gotten to the point where I think that they've gone too far with it in many of the newer games. Like, I don't particularly care for how different some of the final evolution forms look. For the starters especially. Like, I don't really like how any of the Gen 8 starters, like, final forms look. I think a lot of them look bad, actually.
Okay, here's one for Gen 4. Yeah, Luxio and Luxray are very close in design.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what else.
Yeah, I'm just scrolling through it, and then I'm just pointing out whenever I see one that's like, okay, those two are similar.
Bibarel, I guess. It's definitely doofy. Like, it's
at least that's a clearer, bigger version. It's a lot of like like Gabite is like Gabite and Garchomp are very close to each other in terms of like design. Just Garchomp just has just more detail. Oh, Finny and Luminion are pretty, like, Luminion just kind of has 2 extra things to it, but it's pretty much the same fish.
I mean, I can't even remember what that one looks like normally, so I'll take your word for it.
Finian is pretty much just like a light blue Remoraid with like a pink stripe going through it.
I mean, when you get to the point where you're at, 5, 6, 7 generations, and each one needs to have, like, a fish, they're all gonna blend together,
Oh, you have all of the monkeys from Gen 5, which are just like no.
Yeah, I Gen 5's like general designs are definitely divisive. I like most of them, partly because of how weird they are. And I appreciated the commitment to doing a completely new Pokedex, like with nothing repeating. Is it better to have... Okay, here's a question for you, Stefan. Scary Face or Agility? Like, which one do you think would be better?
Arthur, is there a difference between...
So agility, so it's the agility ups Aerodactyl's speed, whereas Scary Face reduces the opponent's speed. So it's like whether... I think we'll stick with agility. I don't even think that we'll really even use it all that much.
Yeah, that's it. I think upping yourself tends to be more effective than lowering an opponent's.
It depends on what you're trying to do. Like,
Yeah.
because if you need to switch a Pokemon, it's like, it depends. Like,
Exactly,
I
yeah.
would...
You need to switch, yeah.
So, honestly, I would prefer to have something like,
Oh yeah, and like Grain Killer says, that it only helps against one Pokemon, where if you do agility, you keep going until you switch. So
that's
yeah,
fair, yeah.
Oh, and like they said, yeah, Finizen and Palazin, Finizen and Palafin, which are pretty much the exact same. Although, I think it's really genius because it's the whole idea is that Palafin is the superhero and that he's disguising himself as a Finizen, which is why like a Palafin, like a normal Palafin, just looks like a Finizen with a heart on it.
So,
Yeah.
I appreciate that. I don't appreciate how, like, obscure it is to get Palafin. Because, like, that's one of the ones where you have to, like, level it up, but specifically while playing multiplayer, right? Or something dumb like that.
Yeah.
It's like, Pokemon needs to stop. Just let them evolve on level up. Why is that so hard?
For Mana and Marshana, they're very close. Just Marshana has the little smoke coming out of them.
I think the color scheme swapped where the dark colors are more pronounced. On Musharna.
Mana has flowers, while when Marshana Mana has purple flowers, but Marshana the purple's like covering everything except their head.
Yeah.
Let's see. You got Bert and Ernie throwing sock. They don't really count. They're more so just kind of like...
Yeah, also, I love Bert and Ernie. Bert and Ernie are great.
Oh no, I thought that was a... No, the Bascule... Yeah, the alternate forms of like Bascule, like, those don't count.
Yeah, no, because we're looking at the base gen.
I'm looking at evolutions.
And whenever they bring something back to do a new evolution in a later gen, it's always more drastic. Every time they do that.
Cincino is just Machino with like a little like pomp with like a little like a flow on them. Oh, Duoceon, the evolution of Solosis. That's literally just the exact same, just with like a slightly extended body. Okay, like that's... Like,
Yeah, but the idea is that it's a cell division, so it makes some amount of sense. And that also it comes back with Solosis being like crazy looking.
Yeah, Vanillish and Vanillux. Vanillux is just two Vanillishes.
Yeah, but then you get Vanillux, which is the best Pokemon design of all time.
Yeah, Clink, Clank, and Clink Clank, which is just the Magnemites again.
So here's the thing. I think that Clink Clank and Clink Clank are more interesting because unlike it just being three Magnemites stuck together, if you look at the sprites for all three of them, the first gear is always in the same spot, and then the second gear adds onto that and it starts turning together, like, so they're both turning at the same time, and then the third gear is on the bottom. So like the pose never changes, but it just like it's adding more gears to the machine, which I thought is pretty cool, personally. Oh, having to evolve 4 Pokemon through friendship sounds miserable. Pokemon through friendship takes forever. I remember whenever I would try to do Espeon or Umbreon in my Gen 2 playthroughs, it would always take like 4 or 5 gyms for them to finish. Poison Point.
I always forget how sassy Aromatisse looks.
I always thought that Aromatisse was supposed to be an evolution for Love Disc, and it just never was.
Nah, it's spritzy. What is Yiv? I keep forgetting how to pronounce it. Yveltal is honestly one of the more boring box legendaries for me because it's just way too busy of a design.
A lot of the Gen 6, designs I find just don't do much for me in general.
Yeah, I think there's only like maybe 2 or 3 Pokemon I really like in Gen 6. And then, yeah, and then Gen 7 is like I think like Gen 7 and Gen 9 are some of my favorite sets.
Yeah, Gen 7 I think has some underrated Pokemon. I honestly can't remember many of the Pokemon from Gen 9 because I didn't play. Like, I played through it once and then haven't really ever gone back to it.
See, yeah, I haven't even played Gen 9, but I was just like, I like whenever I would like follow whether it's the cards or like collecting it, like it has like Lechonk is one of my absolute favorites. The Tandemaus and Maushold, Fido.
They finally gave Dunsparce the evolution he deserves.
The Dunsparce. See that's a version of like an evolution that's just exactly the same, but it working.
Yeah, and then you make shiny hunters miserable because it's like a 1 in 100 chance for you to evolve into the version with the most segments or something like that. So you need a shiny version that also evolves into the most segments. So yeah. Anyway,
Wiglet and Wugtrio are funny.
Yeah. Anyway, we're all done for the night. Thank you guys for stopping by. I will most likely stream again Wednesday night. So I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.